Of Reign of Olympus. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
All right. Hopefully, we have sorted out some of the tech issues from before. We currently have a runt on mobile. His computer decided to update just before he logged on, and he's currently on what, say, 12%, maybe?
I think now on about 50. So by the time we get to the top.
Okay. Your sound's coming in a bit sketchy, but we can't do much with your phone. So hopefully, at the break, we will be able to hear your amazing baritone fully and clearly.
Won't go that far.
Until then, just be a true barbarian and just grunt in approval.
I can manage that.
Yeah. A few announcements before we begin. One of them is that we are now on podcast. So yeah, all of the Reign of Olympus episodes and all of the Match of the Deity episodes will be on Podbean. And if I can figure out how to do it, Spotify and iTunes as well, which is great. So yeah, if you don't have time to watch it, or if you need to catch up, or if you just want to hear us again, you can catch us on podcasts and listen to us on the go rather than having to watch the video, which is great. Another announcement, which you probably have seen on social media by now because I haven't shut up about it all day, is that we are doing a charity giveaway. You may remember that the first episode of Reign of Olympus was dedicated to CALM, which is Campaign Against Living Miserably. They're an amazing charity that work to prevent male suicide. They do a lot of great work, and we want to support them as much as we can. Of that, when we did that, I emailed a few places asking for support, and one of the places that got back to us was the amazing Wormwood Gaming. And as such, they have donated this Purple Heart Dice Vault to us, for us to give to one of you guys. It is amazing. It is worth, I checked on the site for the RRP of it. In the state, it's worth at least $75. This has got a little extra character in there as well. So it's worth probably around $100 just on its own, which is insane to be given as a prize for free. So yeah, we're going to be basically raffling this off. If you check our Facebook page, which you just search Have a Go Heroes into Facebook, where our logo will be there. There is a post there where if you hit donate, you can donate £1, $1, or I think we have an Australian viewer or two. So yeah, you can donate anything you like. There's no minimum. If you donate loads, it's not going to put you more in the running. Please donate as much as you are willing to give. But whoever donates, big or small, you'll be put into the raffle. And then on the next Reign of Olympus episode, so in 2 weeks' time, April 4th, we will be raffling it off and we'll announce the winner of this amazing, again, it's Purple Heart. It's the one, for those of you that watch Critical Role, which if you're watching us, you probably watch Critical Role. It's the one that they always love. Purple Heartwood is just so nice. It's got so much character. The tray itself is magnetized. I did test it out with some dice for the pictures. And however you place them as well, you shake that thing, they're not moving as well. So it's not going to rattle it or damage dice or boxes, and they'll be perfect. Really sad that I can't keep it, to be honest, but it goes to a good cause. I think at this point, I haven't checked recently, but we've already raised £40 just from today. So yeah, that is amazing. Thank you.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that's donated so far, and good luck. I hope you win. Right, unless anybody has any other further announcements or things they want to say, we'll move on with the episode. Okay. Yay. Thank you, Flickr, for hosting. So, before we move ahead, previously on Reign of Olympus, I'll very quickly ask you guys, this didn't go so well last time, but what happened in episode 2?
I got my ass kicked.
Stabbed a thing.
Yep, stabbed a thing.
Yeah, so did I.
Yep.
So we went to investigate the bathhouse from episode 1 that we figured out. Investigate that. Found a way in the back. Ron kicked a door in again, but strategically kicked a door in this time rather than just put his foot through it.
You talked about it for 5 minutes and then you kicked the door in, yeah.
Yeah. We then, on entering, it was really, really dark, and then we found a room at the very back, thanks to Mercy, because she can actually see in the dark.
Yeah, we figured out only one of the party members can actually see in darkness, which is I'm
But
not
then I
gonna
asked
abuse
her
that at
very
all.
kindly to light up her Scully scary thing, so all of us could vaguely see.
Very vaguely, yeah.
So in the room was a woman, and from that point, Gavril decided to just attack her, and then a giant spider came out. 2 people got floored. Gavril killed giant spider.
Monologuing.
That doesn't give you right to murder
Anyway,
people.
moving on.
So giant spider got killed, and then after that fight, Gavril and Runt stayed in the room. Mercy and I went outside, and we encountered Isidore, who is a council member of Dionysus.
Yeah, like a familiar warden, counselor.
Human
someone
being
important. Yeah.
And Mercy may or may not have pissed him off slightly.
I mean, pissing him off is fine. It was his patron god that wasn't happy, but that's for another episode.
That's for a whole other issue. But Isidore very kindly set us up in a really fancy house, at which point we all went to our separate rooms.
You say very kindly. You were basically under house arrest, but yeah.
Yeah, but it was a fancy house and I'm 13. Get over it.
Oh, did someone just set the DM? Well, that won't come back to bite you.
I'm going to get shit via proxy for being next to Mercy. This is... Anyway. So we all did our own thing.
Yep. You leveled up, most of you. Runt decided to tactically not take a rest and stand guard, and as such is still...
I'm not...
So we have a level 1 Runt for now. But yeah, after that, it was found that what you told them was true. They believed you even if they didn't like you. And then once that was all finished, you found Isidore arguing with a Spartan lieutenant that Runt recognized, had a bit of bro fist and, talked about sports ball and testosterone and bleeding radiators and all that jazz.
Go sports.
And then you asked some things about things back in Sparta. You found out that the Spartans were here to deliver prisoners to Sparta because they have more jails and labor camps, like stonemasonries and quarries and things that prisoners can work at. As they left, Gavril also found out that the people he came to town with for whatever reason were heading to Sparta as well. And the episode ended with him spotting one of the people he was with, not only in the cart as a prisoner, but also somehow walking behind the cart as a Spartan. Yeah, who knows what happened there.
And Mercy got a vision from Persephone.
Yes, Mercy prayed to Persephone and was rewarded with a vision telling her to stay the path, and no matter where a seed lands, basically it can choose, it grows in a direction after that. It was very cryptic and very Persephone and nature themed, so yeah.
Very Persephone.
It was very Persephone, yeah. So one last thing before we move on. For those of you that didn't watch the episode yesterday, Match of the Deity, which I think is no one because they're all in the chat right now, but Gavril was voted to have the god's favour. So just to remind him, yeah, well done, Gavril. So just to remind him, this session, you basically have inspiration that you can use on any roll you like before the end of the session. If you don't use it by the end of the session, sorry, the gods are fickle and they get bored with you and you'll lose that favour. Okay. Without any more further to do, you guys have just watched this cart roll on. You're all stood there with a bag of gold. And yeah.
Mercy's on her knees.
Two things quickly.
Go for it.
Right before I had my aneurysm of happiness,
Aye.
how vaguely aware was I of Gavril's conversation with Isadora?
Which conversation was this? The one about the prisoners?
Well, the part of the conversation that.
Okay, well, roll me a perception check and we'll find out.
All right then. Not a bad start to the day. That will be a... Oh, for God's sake, where is it? 17.
17. Yeah, you heard pretty much. You didn't get every single word, but you got the basic gist of the conversation.
All right, then. And the second question is, the spider bite that I took, how dangerously close is the venom to my other wounds?
No, you're fine. Like it got you on the shoulder. You were.
Yeah, you know the wounds that I'm talking about.
I do, yeah, but it crossed over one of them.
Right.
So it's kind of got.
Am I? Yeah.
So it's hard to explain without showing you. But say your shoulder. So you had one line from older things, and then they managed to just get on either side of that with the two mandibles that injected the venom.
Okay, I'm still not 100% on that. Definitely not feeling right. I am going to just sidle up to Gavril then.
Can I just get a second, because I was handed a large amount of money, and probably going to guess how much that was.
Okay, that amount of money was 100 gold pieces, 20 silver pieces, and 5 copper pieces.
Can I ask if Isidore is still about?
Isidore has ran off. Once the Spartans went, Isidore went off in a huff so as not to start some shit with Mercy, most probably.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was very busy. He was running around with a slate and ordering people around, and he's gone now.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how much gold you got from that.
Okay, I'm going to start splitting into 4 equal-sized piles, which will be 25, 5, and 1, with pile being 2 higher on the upper, I believe.
Yeah.
Take one of the piles and hand the other around.
Okay, so yeah, let me roll a d4. So yeah, once you get the extra copper, you pick up the slightly bigger pile. So you have 25 gold, 5 silver, and 1 copper each, except for Runt, who has 2 copper. So that's all handed out. So Mercy, you've just finished taking the pouches. You're all kind of not stood together again. Feel free.
Gavril? 25 gold, 5 silver, and 1 copper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One small thing here. Next time you want to go and join the Dionysus Kiss My Ass Club, try not to throw somebody else before the caravan.
You're going to prostrate yourself in front of the caravan, not my pull you out from
Such as it is. But please bear in mind that my umbrage with Isadora was the fact that we were somehow being thanked and simultaneously blamed for one thing, and I didn't take kindly to that, considering we were all here on different errands, I suppose, for want of a better word. So I didn't take kindly to being summarily treated and dismissed.
That's a personal grievance you had. I had no.
Yes, but I don't appreciate.
I was treated by the people of this city. I don't appreciate you dragging your issues. If you want to.
I didn't drag anybody. I didn't drag you into it at all.
And I made sure that was clear.
Well, I didn't drag you into it at all. I was basically pointing out to him that we did the city a favor for them based on, his apparent wishes, and yet to be so ungraciously thanked was a bit unfair to all of us.
Next time you want to speak for all of us, please talk to all of us first.
Well,
Done that, I'm sure we could have made sure that we were conveying a message that reflected what we received. As it was, you chose to speak for all of us.
well, you decided to stick around.
As far as I'm concerned, the issue is done.
Well, I have to deal with something else right now, but I would graciously ask, I'm going to hand you the remaining items that I took from the woman. If you could find a way to have these looked at, I will actually just hand you my purse and say, use that money if you will. And then as and when you men decide which path you want to wander off to Sparta or otherwise, I will come back and join you. But I have something I really must need doing.
Okay, I'll check into these now then.
So as I wander off, I'm just as I throw my hood over my head, I stand to the side of Alma, look down at her with as close to a smile as humanly possible, give her a quick ruffle on the fringe and say, "You're right, dear. He is weird," and I wander off.
Okay. So yeah, you wander off back into the town proper. Before we move on to what Mercy is doing for now, what does everybody else want to do?
Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, we can't hear you very much there, Runt. I'm afraid you might have to...
No, you can't hear me.
There we are.
You hear me now?
Better.
All right, cool. Well, I'll sidle over to Gavril and go like, after Sparta.
Sorry, Gavril is sorting stuff out. While he sorts that, we'll move on to Mercy, actually. So, Mercy, where are you heading in your sachet away?
I'm going to head back to the mausoleum and see if I can find Elpina again.
Okay. You head back. You can see the women in the white togas that were just walking around doing the duties, but you don't spot Elpina at the moment. She might be elsewhere.
I will just politely ask if she is still in the vicinity and if I might see her.
Okay. I'm afraid Elpina's gone. She headed back to Lagina recently. After speaking with you, actually, she seemed quite troubled about whatever you spoke about, and she headed back as soon as she could.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Who is most senior cleric here?
Can I ask what this is about?
It's sort of personal. I need somewhere private to speak with somebody with regards to I basically lift up part of my arm where the armor isn't quite showing, and then I'm going to pull back some of the dressings to reveal some of the scars.
Oh.
And I say, I have to have these dressings changed.
Oh.
I need supplies and somewhere quiet and maybe some assistance, please.
Oh, well, we can organise that for you. We don't, we can find you a room where, although, honestly, you would probably better going to one of the temples in Thebes, but we'll see what we can do. We do have...
I would rather go somewhere that I know is more sacrosanct.
Okay.
And slightly more in dealing with my own personal leanings.
Okay, well, we'll find you one of the rooms where we inter, and we have dressings, but
that's fine.
Okay, and she kind of hustles about. She hands what she was dealing with. It's like an urn with some sort of herb, like strong-smelling herb in there that she was scattering, and she hands it to someone else, and then she pulls herself together and leads you into the mausoleum proper. As you walk in, because you never went in before, You can see it has, again, like many buildings in Thebes, it is supported by quite large pillars that move down the edge of the room. But unlike a lot of the other places, this is made of what looks like maybe obsidian. The entire room, it's very contrast to what you normally get in Thebes. Thebans, they have the very bright surrounding the very bright white marble usually. So it's almost in stark contrast to that. You have dark vision anyway, so you can see just fine, but it's very dimly lit. Just a few candles here and there. Again, there's no daylight that comes in except from the open door. She leads you down, and as you walk off, you can see in between the columns there are urns depicting different scenes that you don't really recognize. Some you do recognize as stories of Persephone heading to Hades is one that you do recognize. But the rest of them just seem to tell different stories of the life and death cycle. You don't know what's in them, but they're just the big classic Greek black urns. People walking around with togas with shawls over their heads as well. You can't see a lot of their faces. It seems that once they're in the temple, they have their heads bowed, and it's very respectful. The person that led you in as well, as soon as she enters through the entrance to the mausoleum, she also puts a shawl over her head and just quietly leads you to one of the back pillars, and you can see there is an opening, no door, but she leads you through, and she doesn't go through herself, but she puts her arm out and allows you to go through.
I bow and say thank you.
Okay. She doesn't close it. Again, there's no door, but she does close a curtain to give you some modicum of privacy.
All right.
In this room, you can see in the middle of the room itself, it's maybe 6 feet by 6 feet, the room itself. Again, on the walls, there's no daylight that comes through, but there are several smaller urns. There seems to be like a bowl, a tripod in the corner, burning what smells like frankincense. And in the middle is a big, again, obsidian, but almost tablet, like a rectangle where a body would be rested and cleaned and prepared for the funeral rites, which currently is empty. So you do have the room to yourself, and there are, in one corner, there are wrappings that are clean that would again be used to dress the body. They're not meant for medical purposes, but they do in a pinch.
Sure. Lovely. Right, yep, I will just take my time to carefully remove the armor and then carefully disrobe and then spend time rewrapping and treating my...
Yeah, okay. And so is there anything else you want to do, or...
I've always maintained that whenever I change my dressings, I always I was kind of like taught to chant, like a meditative chant to help with the pain.
Yeah.
So I will just casually just perform that same ritual as I always have done. But what I will do, I will take Benedictus, lay him on that altar.
Yeah.
And then just have him as a focal point.
Yeah,
while I chant.
Okay. And as you quietly do that, we draw back, and then we head back to the rest of the party.
Thank you.
Sorry. Gabriel, can we have a quick hello?
Hello. Can people hear me?
Hey, that's better. So yes, Runt, feel free to address Gabriel.
Right. Do we have to spy?
Sorry, I believe that was, do we have to go to Sparta?
Do we have to take her to Sparta?
I have to go to Sparta. I appreciate that you might have problems there. I think whatever's going on is pretty weird, and I appreciate all the help I can get at this stage.
I have to Sparta. I have an issue taking crazy this off.
We're losing you there, Dan. You may have to put the mic closer or speak up.
I'd say
I think he's a valuable asset that we would do very well to have with us.
I'm still
I
here.
think we've been in some very stressful situations, and that's probably not helped us get to know each other well. We didn't really even we haven't been out in the meal together or know anything about each other. I think if we take a bit of time, we might.
I feel like we need to go for a meal. Let's go to a restaurant.
We are in the place for it.
Can I hear all of this, by the way?
Well, yeah, you're stood there like a lemming as they're talking.
I'm just stood there like a lemming.
I mean,
I almost want to chip in and be like, we don't have to go to Sparta to start with.
we could get a meal. We've just been paid. Like, let's just go.
Or ignore me, then that's fine.
No, we don't have to go straight to Sparta, but let's do something.
Can we go to Delphi?
Healthy.
I'm just going to find a map for you guys now.
Let's try and think about national geography.
Because I need to go back to Delphi for reasons.
Yeah,
How pressing is that? Because
oh, that's bigger than I thought. Well, hey. So yeah, so if you guys can see my screen now and the audience at home as well, just so you get some idea. So yeah, this is the map of Elysium that everyone knows. So you guys are currently at Thebes here. If you move on across to Sparta, it's a bit of a trek.
Ooh, that is far.
So chances are you wouldn't be going straight to Sparta anyway.
So which one's Delphi?
It is further up. So
Green one.
it is out of the way, really. But yeah.
I need to go to Delphi for two reasons. One, I would quite like to check on my family, because if crap's going down here, it could be going down anywhere. And secondly, I might be in trouble.
What have you done? Why are you in trouble? Hmm?
It's no biggie. Just technically, I haven't been home in like 2-3 days.
It passed your bedtime.
So it's a lot more than 2-3 days. Like I say, Delphi is here. Thebes is
Little bit.
down here. I don't have a grid on here, but
I'm
that's
very
a
aware.
good few hundred miles. But just so you're aware.
Yeah. By a few days, I mean a while.
Okay. So you said you might be in trouble. Something we should know about, or something that we can help with? Is it
Or something that's
private?
going to come and bite us in the arse.
I mean, you'd be proof that I wasn't stuck in Thebes longer than I should have been for not a good reason. You won't get dragged under the bus, it's just my fault, but it's fine. I can make the trek back myself, it's cool.
Is this trouble with family or?
Yeah, let's call it trouble with family.
So I'm on a bit of a time frame, but I think a detour to Delphi isn't going to hurt any more than trying to catch up with a Spartan prison train. It's probably doing double time.
Why do you need to catch up to a Spartan?
That's
I
where
need
it's
to find out.
are.
I need to find out what happened to my group.
But the longer I can delay going to Sparta, the better, in my opinion. So I'm all.
There's an oracle in Delphi. Might be able to help. Also, we might want to take Mercy because she just had some weird episode. So she might need help too.
Sounds like the kind of thing that an oracle could help with. I don't have a problem going to Delphi, but quite like to get a decent meal before we go.
I'm okay with food.
I want us to check these magic items as well.
Yep. Food sounds good. The question is, do we want to hoof it to Delphi, pun completely intended for a pun, or do we want to get some form of transport?
It would be safer to get transport. But speaking of things that we need to get valued as well, I need to try and find a sapling.
Sorry, what?
Sapling.
Yeah.
A small tree.
Yeah. Or seeds or something.
Right, can I look around and see if there's anything that I can use substitute sap? Like, is there a broomstick or something in the area?
What you can use as a sapling?
Yeah. Is there just like a broomstick knocking around or something?
Make an investigation check.
That's brilliant.
Like I'm not going to know the difference between a tiny tree and a broomstick.
That is an 18.
18, yep. You don't see a broomstick, but what you do see is between the marble, like the cobblestone steps of Delphi, especially when it's towards the edge here, towards the guards' quarters, you can see some weeds poking up in between the cracks.
Oh, I pluck a weed and just hand it to a girl like, there's your sap. And give her like a little condescending pat on the head.
Thanks, I guess, but not going to work. But well done for trying.
Do you need a living sapling?
One that I can plant, basically. Or seeds, as I say. Either or will work.
Just as a note, by the way, quick segue. Yes, chat, I know the levels aren't updated. That was my bad. But since we're all not the same level yet anyway, we'll call it a plan.
I'm sorry for being difficult. Okay?
How about this for a plan then? We need to find a flower tree botanist. We find someone who can arcanely divine what I do. Mercy is doing something. Let's go get these jobs done, and then Mercy comes back. We'll go out, have a meal, maybe actually learn who each other are.
Okay.
Works for me.
So what would you like to go and try and do first?
Let's get the tree.
Okay. If anybody that has just make a general intelligence check for me. Anybody that wants to think of where they could find a tree, a sapling that's there, obviously.
Oh, but there you go. 15.
Okay.
11.
That'll be a 4.
Okay, everybody but Runt. Runt is busy thinking, where can we buy a tree? Where can we buy a tree? And then the other two of you kind of look and realize that not only outside of the gates, but also on the way up to the... I've forgotten the word for it. The Agora. Nature seemed to be part of the town a lot more, so you probably don't have to buy one. You could probably just walk around a less urban area and dig something up.
We go to the outside bit, not the nicely planted pretty bits.
Yeah, let's not steal from the city.
Yeah, let's find a tree that's definitely not someone's, I don't know what we do. Plant and like decorate.
Okay.
Topiary.
Yeah, so yeah, on your way around, it's probably, like I say, you have to kind of pass around the front gates anyway, and you can kind of see there's big wooden gates with guards along the top. Again, it seems to be made, like the city walls themselves are made of marble, which is just, it's impressive. You've heard of places like Corinth and the legendary city of Troy being built by Poseidon being made of marble, so it's impressive to see Thebes as well. You don't know where they're getting all of this, because marble doesn't, grow on trees, as you would know, Alma. Runt wouldn't have any idea. So you need to pass the gates anyway. There is the main gates that are open at the minute, because people are coming and going from the festival, so they don't keep them closed, because they'd just be opening them every 2 seconds. There are guards posted, but again, they seem to be more checking people coming in than checking people going out, so feel free to kind of...
I think
Cool.
follow your lead on this, Alma.
Just need something small that I can slightly uproot and preferably fit in my bag.
Yeah, there's no issue there. Like I say, you're more likely to find the smaller trees just on the outside of the city because they don't get as much sun as well. So yeah, you find something, you dig it up. I mean, it'll fit in your bag, but it's going to get soil everywhere. But you knew that.
I'm a druid.
Yeah.
I live for this.
There's already soil. Yeah, so that's fine. So yeah, the rest of you two just kind of stand awkwardly. It takes him a few more seconds to realise, hang on, there's trees here. On a roll of a 4. But yeah, that's done within 5 minutes or so. The guards let you back in. They give you a bit of a weird look. But it's the Thebes and it's the Festival of Grapes. They've seen weirder things today.
Then a 13-year-old with a sapling in her bag and a dog.
I'm tempted to give one of the viewers inspiration because Flaycat just said she soiled herself. So well done. Yeah,
Well, that might be getting to the root of the problem.
Oh, no more, not that. Right, so that is job 1 ticked off. What would you guys like to do next?
I think we have to look around for people wearing lots of posh-looking clothes. They're looking like they're magic.
Okay.
That's not my strong suit. So, aimlessly.
Okay, anybody that wants
Would I recognise anyone magic?
You'd recognise, like, the more druids and things, not necessarily... Does anybody have Arcana as a skill, besides Mercy?
Would you be amazed if I said yes?
I would be very amazed. I would also not believe you.
Yeah. I don't. Rather than doing that,
Alma, your only hope.
I don't have Arcana, no.
Okay, so...
Can I wander into, like, the nearest taverna and ask, see if anyone would know where we might find these people?
Yeah, a taverna, that's easy to find because they're everywhere. So yeah, you literally follow your nose, Runt. I'm not even going to have to make you have a check because they're everywhere. So yeah, you find one place that has a lot of noise coming from it. You hear a lot of laughter. You hear what sounds like some sort of wood instrument playing. And you smell what's like meat and, like wood fires and smoke reach your massive nostrils. Yeah, and you make your way in.
My assumption is Birch is probably running in the same direction.
Yeah, he's mouth is watering. You almost lose him in the crowd. Gavriel, you kind of have to keep an eye on Alma in the crowd. Runt is he's too busy following his nose. For Runt, it's easy because he's a big minotaur. You can kind of see over most of the crowd, except for a centaur, which, for those of you that notice it, is even in this setting, it's something to behold. But yeah, there is a centaur that seems to be the one playing what seems like pan flutes. And that's the only thing. The rest is just a sea of people. This place is packed.
Right. Well, I push my way through the crowd, asking it like the Red Sea, go up to the guy behind the bar and say, we're looking for information on where to find someone who's perhaps more interested or learned in things arcane than we are. Do you have any idea where we could find such an individual?
You're in Thebes, yeah?
I wasn't entirely sure, but thank you for reminding me. I didn't realise.
That's no problem at all. I do have to ask with, how much everyone is drinking.
That is a good point.
He doesn't seem to get your sarcasm at all. He's just smiling at you. Yeah, Thebes, it's a magic city. Anybody that has money is trained in at least basic arcana.
And where do these people receive their
They're taught by the various bard colleges, or you're taught it in school. If you can afford school, then you're taught, how to throw a spell or two.
Okay.
What is it that you're looking for? I might be able to help.
We need some... I can't remember. Gav, come here.
It's 2 wands.
We have a wand and something else. Get what I was actually given.
It was a vial, sorry.
It's a vial with something.
A vial, that's it. We have a wand and a vial that we need to identify the magical properties of, if in fact they have magical. They might just be a lot.
Right.
But is it a sapling?
Maybe.
So this guy, he's a dwarf. although he seems to be at the same level. It's not like a stone bar or anything. It seems like a little wooden table with a cloth over it, where he's kind of just leading people. It's not like your regular tavern, but he like all food is kind of distributed from the kitchens to him. But he kind of just strokes his beard, like, well, that's clearly a healing potion.
Okay.
I mean, have you not been to a cleric before? Have you not been injured before? That's
I tried to avoid it.
I can
You know,
see
you
that.
tell you that.
Getting hit.
Your armor, some very shiny armor you've got. If you ever want to sell that, I know a guy. The stick, I don't know. I mean, it looks like a stick.
I think it's a wand because we found another wand with it, and they seem
I show
Alright.
my wand.
Well, you could try Agatha. She probably knows that sort of thing.
Where Agatha be?
Oh, sorry, I forget that everyone's not local. Yeah, Agatha runs like a bits and bobs kind of. She's out in the market store. She's normally down by the dock shouting at foreigners. That's what she does. But yeah, she kind of collects bits and bobs of trash like that. She can probably tell you what it is, if it's anything.
Sounds good.
Sounds like my kind of woman. Let's go.
Runs. Just thinking. Alma, Mercy, and myself can all do some amount of healing. Don't believe you can, though. So it's best if you take hold of the healing potion.
You know what, that is most generous of you. I will do so. I'll hold on to it, but only because I'm stronger than you, I can carry it. I don't intend to get hit.
Well, if everybody else is lying on the floor unconscious, you can then at least administer help to one of us who can help the other.
Also, I'd like to point out, I healed you.
I have
Yes,
selected.
I was told and I thanked you.
Hold it.
No, him as well.
I healed him. I healed him
Yeah.
a little bit.
So he's had help from two of us, so he needs it more than both of us.
Right, so yeah, if you just want to add standard healing potion to that. We do have an actual healing potion over there, but since you're, not in the same room, it's kind of irrelevant. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, standard healing potion is 2d4 plus 2. So yeah, so if you want to take that potion, that's how much you would heal by. I think Ken is getting the healing potion so we can show it off. Yeah.
Oh, is this the...
Yes, this is thank you to Creative Quest.
So pretty.
They're an amazing shop. But yeah, it is literally a healing potion. Take the cork off, empty the dice, and heal your character. They are so pretty. Anyway, yeah, so you have one thing identified, and yeah, he has told you Agatha, who is down near the docks, could probably help you.
Right. Towards the water.
Do you want me to hold on to the stick for a bit?
Sure.
Weird.
Okay, you make your way down there. It's not difficult. Two of you kind of met at the docks. And what a glorious meeting it was. Yeah, so you make your way down there. As you get there, you ask around a little bit, and it doesn't take you long to find out where she is. Most of them kind of just chuckle a little bit at you, and then point you in the right direction. You get to quite a dingy part of the docks, dingy for Thebes at least, and you start to hear what sounds like shouting.
Like angry shouting?
It sounds angry.
Or angry shouting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna check Bert, because if Birch is having a bit of a tiz about the angry shouting, obviously he will be a bit on guard, but if he can feel something a bit weird.
Okay. Birch kind of tilts his head when he hears it, and then bites his back end and starts chewing. He might have a flea.
I'm gonna try and
go and have a look without just barging straight into the middle of an altercation.
I loosen my Sparta in the scabbard, just in case.
Okay.
I'm going to follow very closely behind Gavril so he doesn't start a fight again.
Okay, as you guys kind of slowly approach around the corner, the first thing you see is a human male probably in his late 30s, brown hair, and his hands are just up like this, and he's just backing away. You can't see what he's backing away from. You can kind of see his back, but his hands are raised, and he's backing away, and whatever's shouting you can hear now is just in front of him. You just hear, "My town, my town, my town."
Is there a problem?
He turns, looks at you, and he kind of, you can see the look in his face of just shock and horror, and he has no idea what's going on. You look past him, and you can see this tiny little gnome woman, long grey hair, which to a human would probably be around like mid-back length, but it is the same length on this gnome. So her hair itself trails on the ground a little bit, and it's kind of picked up, but looks like dirt and like pond scum, and like, just bits of seaweed are stuck in there. She wears a tattered, what was probably a white toga at some point, but again, it looks a little bit rotten. It looks like it's been washed about as often as she has. And she is just there stood with a long nose with calluses on the nose and her forehead, and her eyes they're blue, but they're kind of like a milky blue, like maybe she's getting the start of cataracts. And she's just shaking her fists and shouting at this human. She's like, my town, you leave, you fucking foreigners.
Must be Agatha.
Something tells me she has an issue with people approaching her without politely introducing themselves first. Also, anyone who's not from her town.
Okay, yeah.
Right, well, I'm going to stay away then. Chances are she pisses me off and go boost her into the bay.
Yeah, you stay here.
Hello, we're looking for Agatha?
She looks up at you. What do you want?
We're hoping to do some business.
Business? What kind of business do you want?
Well, we have some coin to spend, and we'd be interested in identifying an arcane item.
You know what I'd be interested in? Getting these fuckers off my dock. You don't have ships, do you?
Oh, no.
You here for that festival?
No, we're actually leaving town shortly.
Good. Take the rest of them with you. This is my town. This lot come in every single year, cluttering up the docks, thinking they can do what they want when they want. My ship's docked here, and he tries to come in and put his in. He kind of points out to this dingy dock. And what you can see is it's kind of like a long skiv, or the equivalent of a skiv. It's like a Greek longboat. Doesn't look too grand or anything. It's just like a fisherman's boat, but it looks grand because next to it, kind of shoved against the dock itself, it'd be hard pressed to call it a rowboat. It's more of a dinghy, like this old rotten, like salt-worn wooden dinghy. And it's kind of, again, it's pressed against the dock because what it looks like has happened is this fishing ship has gone to dock up, not even spotted this tiny ship, and pushed it up against the docks. So it's kind of at a wonky angle.
Huh.
Hey, come here.
Awful.
That's my dog. I've been parking there for 30 years, and every year somebody tries this. So you and your lot can fuck off.
People coming into your town without asking is just awful. And I'm so sorry I didn't come and ask you before I came here.
He looks.
If you...
Just gives you the most bitter look, but make me a persuasion check.
Come on.
That's not great. That would be a 4.
Are you being sarcastic with me, you little shit?
No.
No. So why don't you learn your fucking respect for your elders? You know, I am 75 years old, and you little tall human shit, think you can come here and be sarcastic with me? I don't think so.
I don't want to be sarcastic with you.
This gentleman find somewhere else to put his ship?
What?
This gentleman who owns the boat, maybe we could help him find somewhere else to put his ship before we do our business.
Do what you like, as long as you and his lot clear off.
Okay.
Do that, then maybe we can do business. I've got a business to run after all.
Let's try and take this guy to one side and see if we can talk to him out of earshot and flinging frying pandas.
I'm going to try and make friends with Agatha
Yeah, good luck.
while you do that.
Good luck with that. Okay, you kind of
Good luck, yeah, but I don't care. I'm going to try.
You walk off with that, and he kind of mouths a quick as you walk off. And we'll do that first, because then we'll build suspense with whatever's going to happen with her. It's like, well, thank you so much. She is crazy. We didn't even... We thought that it was wreckage. It was not a ship, and then she comes at us like tiger.
Yeah, the locals always have different customs wherever you go. Obviously, this is
your customs?
not my custom. I'm also in town for the festival.
Great.
So, have you only just got here, or?
Yes, we just dock, and then crazy lady come and attack us.
I'll be honest. Whatever we do, if that was my ship, I wouldn't leave it there, because who knows what she's going to do.
No,
I don't want to come back with it at the bottom of the bay.
Look, I'm going to stop you there. I very thank you for getting me away from her. We are going to move it. I just didn't have chance. I thought she was going to take my eye.
Just make sure she can't see it as well. You never know if she's vindictive.
Oh no, we will be going to the very other far end of the docks. We were late for this festival, and it has not been a good trip so far.
Hopefully you have a safe journey and enjoy the rest of your time here.
Yes, and you as well. Be careful with her. I think she might bite. And he goes off to leave. He kind of, do you know the thing where you're trying to get out of somewhere by squeezing by? He kind of does the same thing behind Agatha as Alma is talking to her to get to his ship, and starts untying it from the dock. Meanwhile, what do you want?
So this is your town. The whole of Thebes is yours.
I don't own it, but I was born here, which is more than most of people here can say.
It's a good point. But
Where are you from, little shit?
just outside of Delphi.
Delphi. Delphi. Pompous bastards. Go on, yeah. I know them.
Yeah, I know they are. I was raised by quite a handful of them.
Yeah, you
Why do you think I snuck out, came here?
I didn't ask for your life story. I asked her what you want, didn't I?
Basically, you can't stop people coming into your town if you're on your own.
Who says I'm on my
You're going to
own?
need people on side.
I've got my boys.
You have what? You are quite the businesswoman and merciless ruler of said town that you claim to be yours.
No, I'm not a fucking ruler. You get sarcastic with me and I'll kick your ass off this dock. I've got my... Look at me. I'm an attractive woman. Of course I've got kids. I've had 3 husbands.
That's actually impressive.
Yeah,
I'm not being sarcastic. I don't have the capability of being sarcastic. But we just kind of wanted to get to know specifically what you want. Obviously, you want everyone gone, but...
I want everyone to fuck off and leave me alone to run my business. You can't do good salvaging when the dock's full of ships.
Sure.
Crabbing's out of the question. You scare all the fuckers off.
Interesting.
Why are you here?
Me?
No, the other... No, the fucking dog. Yes, you.
Dog's here for me. Me, I was here because I snuck out of where I was supposed to be and got stuck. And then a
Not in the fucking town. I said I didn't want to know your life. Why are you here? Right here. Now. Bothering me.
Why I'm here in front of you right now is basically because these two dragged me along because they want something valued.
Valued? You got something valuable?
Yeah, we have a couple things that are valuable.
Then why didn't you say so? God, open with that next time, you little shit. Right, what things of value have you got? Because I can certainly peruse. That is what we do, after all.
We have 2 wands, one identified, one not.
Well, this one you've got identified, what is it?
It's a wand of webbing.
Wand of webbing. Could be quite valuable. Fishermen can use that. Make good netting webs. Right, how much do you want for it?
What's the offer?
Well, I'll have a look at it.
Okay, I'll give her the wand of webbing, but I'll hold on to the other one for a second.
Alright, she kind of moves on for it and then snatches it out. Yeah, it's alright. It's not in great condition, is it? Probably has a few charges in it. Tastes
We
like
did
shit.
steal it off of someone.
Oh, did you now? Now that does lower the price, you see, because if I'm fencing stolen goods, then there's extra expenses that go with that.
She's very dead.
Yeah. Oh, well, you see, you stole it from a kid. See, that only makes things worse, you see. Now, you see, if I was to do my proper Theban duty, what I should do right now is report you to the authorities for trying to fence stolen goods. From dead bodies, no doubt. But for the benefit of the doubt, I would keep my mouth shut for this wand in exchange for 5 gold.
Okay, we'll deal with that. I'll take the 5 gold.
All right. Puts the wand away, pulls out this horrible coin purse. It's just old. It's the first bit of old leather that actually looks older than her skin.
Nice.
And like with these horrid broken long nails, she kind of count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pleasure doing business with you. We'll keep our shush about where it came from, and thank you very much. What's this other
Thank you, kind. Yeah, the other one, we don't know what it is.
Right. Let's have a look. Snatches it again. Licks it. Chews it. Has another look at it. Hang on. And the good eye, she plucks it out, blows on it,
Oh, perfect.
kind of rubs it on a horrible dirt. It probably looks grubbier from rubbing it on her toga, but she doesn't know. It pops it back in, gives it a tap, and it seems to, the grey in it seems to glow very slightly for a second or two before it fades back to like a milky colour. Right, very interesting, very interesting. Well, you see, if you'd have got this before the wand and knew how to use it, you probably wouldn't have had to value the other one, would you? This here is a wand of magic detect.
Magic detect.
Aye, give it a wave about, do the thing, and it'll detect any magic that's around you.
Okay. Interesting. This one not being mine, this one belonging to the gentleman over there, pointing at Gavril. I'm going to ask him before I do any business because, the other one we can keep hush-hush, this one he stood right there.
Right, no problem. Let me know, I'll give you a few silver for it.
Oh, thank you.
Much obliged. Right, yeah, you guys finished talking to him. You come back to Alma at this point.
So get those things looked at?
Yeah, I saw her happy because, that happened. Otherwise, she was going to eat me. The other one I said belonged to you, so don't tell her we stole it off of someone. This one, a wand of magic detect.
Okay. Fair enough. We know what we've got now. We can take the wands, that mercy note, we've had them evaluated, checked out, and then decide what we want to do with them afterward.
I haven't actually asked her how much it's worth. But we should probably pay her for the service at the very least of, identifying it.
Oh, you haven't paid her?
No. She's paid me, but I haven't paid her.
What's she paid you for?
I sold the wand of webbing.
How much for?
Oh my!
Look, I know it was probably worth a lot.
more?
5 gold. I just told you. I know it was probably worth a lot more, but I didn't want to die to a gnome.
As you look at her, she's found something in her fingernail, and she's just going to town like.
Okay.
Yeah,
Of course, it was mine.
Paid.
yeah, let's
Yeah, let's
You
get
can pay her. You can pay her because it was yours.
Wonderful. Agatha. Sorry to start.
Don't sneak up on me.
Very sorry. I understand that you haven't been paid for detecting the items.
No, I haven't. It's a good thing you brought help. I didn't want to set my boys on you.
What
do you think would be a fair price for this service? For identifying the one magic?
Now, normally I charge a lot for that, but we've done a little business already, so why don't we call it 5 silver and we'll call it even.
Why don't we call it 3 silver and we'll forget that you exploited a young child in a bit?
Make an intimidation check for me.
Can I assist? Can I come over and stand behind him and just loom?
Yep, Gabriel, if you want to make that with advantage, because you've got this big fuck-off Minotaur behind you.
That does help.
Wow.
Yeah, 23.
She's about to say, you say the first one was a little bit terrible.
Yeah,
The first one wasn't great. The second one was...
Okay, she's about to say something, she's like, and how about, and then Runt starts walking off, she's like, how about, you know what? Call it my treat. That's it.
Oh, I couldn't...
No, honestly, it's fine. You're a visit to the city, call it Theban hospitality.
Well, at least you've had a profitable trade, and I hope that the rest of your trades are as profitable for you.
Yeah, Dionysus' blessings upon you all. Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you, Agatha. Stay angry.
Thank you, little shit. It was nice meeting you.
Shall we
Go find Mercy and get fed?
Please.
Yeah, you guys head off, and Agatha goes back to kind of chanting to herself. Mercy, we'll come back to Mercy because you've been sat very patiently there. Yeah,
It's fine.
Yep, you finish wrapping yourself up again. You were left alone the whole time. But yeah, you are left to... What would you like to do once you have finished?
I think. Well, I've had time to think, but I'm still not sure. Yeah, I just want to make sure that things don't look as gruesome as they did previously. I want to, as part of the final part of my ritual, I'm just going to use one of the spikes on Benedictus to just draw a bead of blood, just drop it onto the altar as a final prayer of honoring the dead, sparing a thought for obviously the lives that were recently lost. I want to find somebody just to quickly thank them and ask them if I can maybe offer a partial service or offer something for taking their provisions. Just anything I can do in trade or services or coin, just for the.
Okay, you leave the room you're in, you part the curtain, and you see that the same woman that greeted you is still stood there respectfully. She's like, "Oh, are you finished with?"
I'm as well. I'm as done as I ever will be for the time being. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate the privacy.
It's the least.
Is there anything I can possibly do to repay you for this?
No. From what I hear, you've already repaid this city enough. As you may expect, undead are not seen kindly.
Well, preaching to the appropriate choir, dear.
Yeah, so that is more than service enough. It's our duty to look after all citizens, whether they be Theban or foreign. So please, just carry faith in your heart as you go and keep doing the good work that you have so far.
Well, I certainly carry something. Do you have anything like a what's what I'm looking for? Do you take donations?
Offerings, yes. Yes, if she points to the end of the room and it's in the corner, because again, this isn't a temple.
Yes.
But there is like a small altar that's lit by 2 candles. And you can see there's mainly things like silver coins and maybe pictures or jewelry. And it seems to be where people have kind of offered something of the dead.
Sure.
In service of like the funeral rites. But yeah, it's unorthodox to be given, but if you wish to leave something to honor Dionysus, then by all means.
of all the people to leave offerings to,
we are, after all, a Theban mausoleum. Who else? We give thanks to Hades, but this is Dionysus' city.
Yes, I'm well aware of this is. Very well. I will drop a gold coin onto the altar. I will say a momentary prayer again.
Okay.
In muted tone, so she can't really hear the slight sarcasm behind it. Yeah, and I will bow as graciously as humanly possible in my rather large armored form. And as I leave, I say, until spring.
Go safely. Well, yeah, you leave the mausoleum. She doesn't follow you. She goes back to whatever she needs to do. And you're left outside in the outskirts of Thebes, the city in front of you.
Lovely. I will just take as wide a circle as I can just around the city, seeing what I've missed in the last 24 hours. Just seeing what's around and seeing,
Yeah, well,
and then just seeing if I find the people.
Okay, make a perception check for me as you walk back and keep an eye out.
Alrighty. 13.
Okay. On the 13, as you're walking around, the festival is still in full swing. Like, this thing is going to go on for like another week at least. Everyone seems happy. They're drinking. It's a new day, so the festivities have started all up again. Everyone's full of energy. There's music. There's food. There's visitors from other countries. There's performances in the streets. There's a dragonborn in what looks like, you don't recognize it, but what look like monk robes, almost like an oriental kind of garb. Again, you don't recognize it. To you, it's very strange attire, but to kind of have an idea in the person's head, it looks like monk robes, and they are performing like a fire-breathing act. And there's lots of people like clapping and cheering and like gasps as flames kind of gush out over the tops of people's heads and things. One thing you do notice, you only just notice it really, and it doesn't seem a lot, but there does seem to be, like the guards before seemed to be there to keep the peace, but they seemed very jovial, whereas now they seem to be a lot more regimented. Like taking things a little more seriously after what happened at the opening. Okay, but that's all you notice on the way back, really. Okay. The rest of you, after my Batman segue, what are you doing now that you've ticked those things off your list?
I say we go find somewhere to eat.
Okay. As you know, tavernas are the best place to go for food, whereas capellas are Capaias there are where you usually go for drinks. So you could head back to the place you were before. It was pretty packed, but
Is there anywhere
Try and find Mercy first.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should probably find Mercy.
Fine, I suppose we can find Mercy.
okay. So yeah, you head back to like the guards' quarters of the city, and for brevity's sake, obviously you don't meet at the exact same time, but you wait there for a little bit, and then Mercy kind of comes from the opposite direction around the outskirts, and you are as four again. That is the third time you've split the party in as many sessions.
Because we're that skilled.
What?
Or that reckless, one of the two.
Yeah. So yeah, you are a party again. So.
So, should we go find somewhere to eat? We can talk about what's happened.
Runt, lead the way.
Oh, did something happen?
Nothing of interest. We just saw a little runt, and they call me a runt. But I mean, this thing was and racist.
She was interesting. We'll tell you over dinner.
Okay. Yeah. Runt, this time, would you like to make just an investigation check to see if you can find somewhere a little less manic?
That will be a nat 20.
Damn. Yeah, you walk around for a little while and you see a few places that just seem packed. And it takes about 10 minutes and you start to get a little deflated and you think you may just have to yeet somebody off a table. But eventually, like, you kind of perk up and you smell... and you walk towards, again, it's towards the dock area, but the nicer part, not the Agatha part.
Yay.
And there seems to be, it's not Grecian, or Elysian, I guess, in this setting, but there is this big longboat. You can't tell what culture it's from, but they seem to have docked up. And from the inside of this boat, you can see lights, and you can hear music, and you can smell what smells like fish, but not the fish of the docks, like cooked fish, treated, smoked haddock, and things like that. It smells amazing.
I'm going to hold Birch back because I know he's hungry, but I can't have him just running into a restaurant.
Okay, are you...
Stay.
Okay. Are you guys heading in?
I assume, yeah. I'm happy to enter. Is everyone else coming?
Yes,
Looks like a good find.
carefully, because dog, but yes.
Okay, you enter this boat, and it is... It's weird. It's on... It's open top, but it was kind of very raised in the dock, so you couldn't see before. But you look, and all along the top, you can see it's kind of been altered. Again, for the players, it's like this red, like, civilianized version of a Viking longship.
Ooh.
Whereas where normally the struts would be sat for rowing, they seem to have been turned at a 90-degree angle, and all along most of the ship is this huge wooden table where it's been turned into like a feasting table. And you can see it's full of, classic bearded Viking dudes and shield maidens, and they're all cheering and laughing. There's someone, it's like walking into a cliche. There's someone arm wrestling at the far end of the table, and people are making bets. And
I head straight over to the arm wrestling.
Okay, it's very alien to you, but this is Thebes, and they take all sorts. Yeah, it's not as packed as normal places. It seems the locals aren't as brave as you because, again, they are fully armored Viking dudes. So it's you see mainly people of that garb. You notice a few of the bigger, again, you see a few Theban dwarves. You see one, for those of you that have seen them before, there is a Goliath there that's in a brown toga. But apart from that, it just seems mainly like bearded Norscan Vikings. So yeah, run, you head over. And what are the rest of you doing while he goes and causes trouble?
No one tell Agatha.
Go find where we can pay for service and coins down so that we don't have to worry about that later.
Okay, you go and ask someone, like, pay! You don't pay! Yes. You sit down and you tell us a story.
Okay.
We all share here. And everyone's laughing, and they move aside, and they kind of, for you, Gavriel and Mercy, they kind of, like, show their hand and tap their hand on the bench and offer you a seat. For you, Alma, this big, rotund guy with a beard that's in, like, 2 braids goes, "On you, a wee little one," and he kind of picks you up and sticks you on the table itself, and then throws a plate towards you and taps you on the head.
I'm forever being stood on tables by big people.
Right. So you, weird Eli, tell us a story. Where do you come from? Are you Theban? We like Thebans. They can drink.
Me.
Yes, my Norskins are Scottish. Get over it. I can't do a Norwegian. Oh, and he's not a dwarf either.
I assume he was directing towards me there.
He was, yeah.
That's
With
right.
the ears.
Yeah, no one else has got weird ears.
I've come here from not as far as I imagine many of you have, but I've travelled here from Poseidon City.
Poseidon! Big beardy fellow, we like him. What did you do over in Poseidon's way?
I have come from one of the temples,
Aye.
official business, Poseidon, directly from Senior Priest.
Right, well, we're kind of falling to sleep here, lad. We want some excitement, fights, battles,
So,
women, men, if that's what you're into.
I was sent here to investigate corruption in the city. We're the team dedicated to rooting out evil
Aye.
and punishing the wicked.
Aye. Right, and what do you do once you find the wicked?
Kill them.
All right, well, you don't mince words, do you, lad? All right.
No, Poseidon's not that forgiving in his...
I like him, I know the type. Praise be to Odin! And everyone kind of shouts Odin, and they clank their glasses together, and there's a huge racket. And what about you,
I'm
lad?
just going to join in.
You're a tall horn of mead, aren't you? And he kind of looks you up and down, Mercy, and goes to kind of slide his hand on your lap.
If you value your life, you will remove that now, because I have no idea where that's been.
He kind of looks at you for a second, and then just bursts out laughing. He's like, "I like you. This is what we're talking about, a bit of attitude. And where do you come
Well, that
from,
makes
lad?"
one of us then, doesn't it?
Right, tell us, where do you come from?
If I told you, I would probably have to kill you.
Right, I'd like to see you try, and I really mean that. I would like to see how you do that.
With this will be the simplest way to do it.
Oh, aye. I've got something slightly similar I'd like to show you.
Once again, I have no idea where your digits have been, although judging by some of the people in the vicinity, I can imagine where it's been.
Oh, come on, Mercy. They welcomed us in. Be nice.
It's not a question of being nice. It's a question of having manners and propriety and consent above all else.
Yeah,
Now,
we agree in consent, lads. There's no consent. You know, we're Vikings. Have you seen our women? If we didn't consent, we'd have it chopped off.
well, at least some of you have got good ideas. Look, I could tell you where I'm from, but to be perfectly blunt, I don't actually know.
All right, well, tell us a story then. What about that? And he kind of eyes towards the mace. That's a scary-looking piece of equipment, if I do say so myself. Where'd that come from?
This is a relic of the temple that I am from.
Right, and where's
In-
that?
The temple of Persephone in Attica.
Persephone. Don't know if I've heard of her.
Well, if the skulls and pomegranate didn't really sort of like give the game away, you know, I'm.
She likes fruit.
It's one of the many symbols of the...
Right. So she likes fruit symbols. I gotcha. Right.
among other things.
Right. That's good to know.
Now, if you really want to know about this mace, I will try to weave a story for you, if I must.
Hey, that's what we want, lass. Drinking stories are the best.
At which point I will unhook it from my belt, and I will brandish it so like the hilt is on the table, and I'm pointing the skull head directly at his face.
Right, he kind of goes, oh, and a few of them go, oh, and like there's like mock shock and awe, but it's good spirited. But
This particular weapon is referred to as Benedictus, or as the colloquial term, it is referred to as the benefit of the doubt.
hey,
Legend has it that a former warrior dedicated to Persephone once defeated a demon from within the depths of Tartarus itself. And this skull that you see in the mace was crafted from the bone of said demon.
right. So what you
It is said...
go on, lad. Go on. Sorry,
No, my knowledge of this is sketchy because I don't really know exactly where I'm from. I have only technically been awake for about 6 to 8 months.
Right. I mean, I can get that. I mean, we've had one hell of a hangover before I can completely get on with that.
I pull apart part of the seam on the and you'll see, and you'll hopefully see a small lattice of scars.
You kind of, oh, you didn't tell me you had beauty marks, lass.
Call them what you will. I call them... What can I call them parts of a puzzle that I haven't figured out to put together.
Right. Well, allow me to give you some advice.
Back to the story. Legend has it that the demon that was slain, the skull was crafted from its bone and then infused with the obsidian shards, and no one has ever really found a way to use it or unwield whatever power it is said to possibly hold. For whatever reason, on my errand to this city on behalf of my high priestess, I was given this on loan as mere protection for myself on the roads because, you know, there are scumbags and villains around every corner of this world.
Right, that they are. That'd soon teach them.
And even though I am occasionally loath to do so, I must defend myself on occasion. And this has served its purpose for now, but as a relic, it must take its place back in the temple where it belongs until such time as it can be awakened, for want of a better word.
Right. So, let me get this right. Persephone, your goddess, killed a demon.
No, she didn't.
No.
A warrior dedicated to Persephone.
Right. So one of Persephone's chosen killed a demon.
Yes.
Turned its bones into a badass-looking weapon.
Yes.
So what you're saying is, Persephone's the god of badasses.
Why not?
I mean,
Let's
look
say
at
that.
you, lass. Look at the beauty marks. Look at this fucker that turned a demon into a mace. Persephone sounds like a god that would be worshipped in Norska if the tables were a little bit different. To Persephone! And everyone kind of shouts, to Persephone! And then carries on drinking. Half of them, you don't know if they agree or heard or if they just wanted another excuse for a toast. But yeah, they seem to be happy. Everyone carries on drinking, and they pass you like plates of like smoked fish and bread and meat, and it's a lot of it's very salty because it's what they brought over from wherever they came from, but it is nice. It's not what you're used to, but it is nice. Runt.
Yes.
So you walk up to this table, and there are one of the Goliath that you saw in the brown toga, and this quite small, quite lean-looking fellow in, like, he's just wearing a simple white shirt. He doesn't seem too muscly. He doesn't seem to have many battle scars. He's got like a neat ginger beard that's just one braid that comes down to about here, and he's about to go into an arm wrestle with this Goliath.
Right, well, I patiently observe.
Okay.
And wait until the victor has been determined, and then challenge him to an arm wrestle.
I figured as much. Right, so you see them start going, and the Goliath, he's keeping big, and he starts to move, and he starts to push down this Viking, essentially. And everyone's cheering, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" And the crowd are going, and people are passing back coins and other things. That they seem to be betting with. Some of them are putting it into a helmet and putting it into a pot. And it gets to about... Sorry, you can't see on camera. It gets to about this level. And then someone next to this Viking nudges him. It's like, "Uhtred, you're about to lose." And Uhtred kind of shakes. And is like, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then just goes, bam! And slams the fist down of this Goliath, who just looks at him in shock. And kind of just sheepishly doesn't move for a bit, and then the rest of them start bursting into laughter. And the Goliath kind of just moves away. Kind of, he looks angry and looks about like he's about to start up a fuss, but then he sees like the multitude of armed Vikings in the vicinity, and kind of just moves down the bench a little bit. And this guy seems on his own again now.
Right, well, I take up that now vacant seat. Sit down. I say that was mighty fine victory, but I think I can do better.
Right? Yeah. What? He wants to arm wrestle you, Uhtred. Yep. And he holds out his hand. He keeps wobbling, but you can attempt to, take it.
I will do.
Okay. So you take his hand, and this guy, he goes, "Good luck," and you can smell the alcohol on him. Like, you're a fucking Minotaur Spartan. You have done some drinking in your time, but this is like a wave of ethanol at your face, and you feel like your eyes start to water from what's from this guy. Like,
it takes back to the old days.
Okay. And the guy next to him, who's kind of like this one is a dwarf. With kind of a short cropped but very bushy beard, is like, "Right, you know the rules. Everybody, you can place your bets. I'll put for the first 10 seconds. After that, whatever happens, happens. Let's have no funny business. Let's have a nice, clean wrestle."
As soon as they start, I'm going to throw a match to whatever the biggest bid is on there.
Okay, well, it starts off slow, but we'll do this round by round. Okay, so it's like 3, 2, 1, go. If you want to make a strength check for me.
That'll be a nat 20.
Okay. Yep. So you start, and straight away he's kind of dizzy, and you kind of just straight away you move it, and his arm again quicker than the Goliath did is down here, and everyone's like moving and making bets, and you hear like 5 silver, 1 gold, 2 gold. And people are betting. It seems to the bid at the minute is 2 gold to Runt, is the highest bid.
Match it.
Okay. So you match that. You put Mark 2 gold off for now. Okay. If you would like to make another strength check for me.
That is 16 plus 3, so 19.
Just you hold it there. The momentum to begin with he seems to have kind of woken up again. You don't know if he dozed off or if he just didn't expect you to be as muscly as you are, which is surprising because you're a big fuck off Minotaur. But yeah, you you don't move. And the bid can't stay the same. People start to bid on Uhtred again. There seems to be like equal bidding. The pot starts to get bigger and bigger. Okay, would you like to make another strength check for me?
Come on, that'd be a lady.
Tonight.
That's another 19.
Okay, this time he moves. It moves slightly up to. He rolled a 20. 17 plus 3. So yeah. It moves up slightly. It's not quite in the center, but the table's starting to turn and the Vikings are starting to cheer again. And they're starting to bid more. The pot seems to get bigger with more bets towards Uhtred. Gabriel, if you're interested, someone just put 5 gold on Uhtred to beat.
My boy's got this.
Oh, no pressure.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to raise the bid in Runt's favor.
I'll match him. Only polite.
Okay, so are you gonna put in another 3 gold, or are you gonna add 5 gold?
Well, the highest bid's currently 5.
Yeah, the highest bid's. It's like it all seems to go into a pot.
Yeah,
And the raising of bets seems to be like to encourage more bidding. Like no one puts in a lower bet than the last one. It's not like highest bid. It's more like to show confidence.
Yeah. I'll go up to where we're at the moment.
Okay. So you make the total up to 5 as well, and they're going to go, and they're going to jeer at you. Make another strength check for me, Runt.
Hey, 22.
22. Nice. You start to move it back down again. It's not quite at the table. But yeah, things are getting tense now. You can see sweat start to form on his brow. Sweat starts to form on yours. Everyone's like, more people are watching this now. They're actually getting quite excited. Another strength check for me.
Oh, fuck. I'll be a 6.
6. 10 plus 3, 13. It moves up again. Again, it's not quite center, but it's about halfway between. Another strength check for me.
I think it's time to start cheering really, really loud.
That is a 18.
18. Back down slightly. You can start hearing chants of run. Just from Gabriel at the moment, apparently.
Right. Ares, come on, give me strength.
Ooh.
I haven't needed you. Now's the time. Let me kick this Northman's ass.
Okay, on that note, make a strength check, then make a religion check.
-1 on religion. That's gonna be great. So that is unnatural 20 on the strength, and religion is 14.
Okay. On both of those, you you don't know who it's from. You don't know whether it's from you. You don't know whether it's that primal rage inside you. You don't know if Ares has heard that prayer or not. But you kind of reach a moment where things start to move up slightly again. And you look this guy in the eye, and he looks back at you. And you kind of reach an understanding that he's done. He's just holding on. And you realise that it's a pride thing now, but you've got him beat. So rather than make this go on any longer, you just kind of give him a nod. And he looks at you, sweat's forming. He looks grimacing at you, but he sees the nod and he nods as well. And then you just slam his hand down. And there's silence for a good 5 to 10 seconds. And then the whole boat just erupts into cheers. And people are patting you on the back. People are offering you drinks. People are laughing. Like Uhtred himself is like, he shakes his arm. And then he kind of puts it out to you.
I'd take his arm and I'd shake it warmly and firmly. He has acquitted himself well for a Northman.
He's still got quite a good grip on him, even though his arm's pretty much dead at this point. But it's like, if you're ever in Norska, I'll be looking for a rematch.
And I'll be more than happy to give you one.
And yeah, everyone's cheering. Gabriel, the bet is split. but only with 2 people because most of them are Vikings, so they mostly voted for Uhtred. But yeah, you get 20 gold.
That on top of what I put in, or including what I put in?
Including what you put in. That the whole part itself it got to 40 gold. Basically, each round it went up by a certain amount.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, it lasted for quite a few rounds there. So the betting managed to get to a frenzy. But yeah, so if you haven't taken it off yet, add 15 gold basically.
Yeah.
Most of it is in silver and copper. So it depends how you want to do that. I think there are like 3 gold pieces and the rest are silver with a few copper in there.
Okay. Well,
but we'll do that in the break. We'll sort that out. Yeah. So again, it is a foreign culture. Most of you don't get the uncivilized nature of this. Alma, you're treated well. You're not like shown as a pet or a puppet or anything, but people are seem really intrigued with you. As this little 13-year-old Elysian girl. And you're all fed and you treat nicely, and you stay there for a few hours and you have a really nice meal. And on that lovely note, we are not going to call the game, but we are going to have a break. Yeah, so thank you so far, guys. We're going to have a break for about 10 minutes. We'll make sure the timer's up there so you know when we're back. Just before we go, just to remind you, if you check out our Facebook page, like the status, share it, donate, getting the chance of winning this beautiful Purple Heart Wormwood Dice Vault.
Get some beautiful wood.
You could get some beautiful wood. Yes, on that
The first time you said that, is it?
No.
On that note, we will see you in 10 minutes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Three. Welcome back, everybody. Last we left off, everyone had done assorted jobs. Alma got herself a sapling. Mercy went and changed her soiled robes, as it were. Yeah, no, Mercy went to the mausoleum to redress her wounds. They went and identified the wand and then sold another one for a very decent price.
Shut up! I am 13 and I didn't want to die.
They met some interesting characters, shall we say, and then they ended up on a Viking longboat turned tavern, I guess, where they shared stories, rebuffed some advances, and Runt very mightily won an arm wrestling contest. So yeah, and that's where we left off before the break. We will, unless anybody wants to do anything else during the meal and during the revelry, we'll skip forward to after you've eaten and are leaving.
The only thing I need to do is make sure that I have some hot water and some honey so I can make my tea, because I can't drink any wine or alcohol.
That's fine, they can get you honey. It's one of the key ingredients in mead, so they'll have honey.
Marvellous.
I want to get my new
I'm
friend a
making
drink.
sure me
Yeah, you
and the
guys,
dog are fed.
you share drinks, you share war stories. Birch is very happy on fish. So yeah.
Best doggo ever.
So yeah, so you guys, most of you, well, half of you leave a little merry, and you all leave having shared some good stories, possibly made some new friends, and with full bellies. What would you like to do now?
so we talked about maybe going to Sparta in a very long route that involves going to Delhi first.
Delhi or Delphi?
Delphi!
Let's not go to
Sorry.
Delhi.
I've got sandwiches on the brain.
Basically, Mercy, to fill you in, my home is in Delphi, and I, for reason, probably should go back. And also I want to check on things to make sure whatever undead stuff happened here isn't happening at my home. But also, in amongst that, we decided that the oracle that exists in Delphi would be able to help Gavril with his issue. Feel like she might be able to help you with your
I think
episode.
it was more likely to be helping Mercy.
Oh,
It's more of a
let's put it this way. If I needed help, I would go back to my temple, which is technically on the way to Delphi anyway.
Look, the offer is there, but that's kind of where we got to.
That's delightfully interesting.
All right, well, I suggest we go back over to the main gate and see if recognize any of the caravan owners. Maybe we can hitch a lift with somebody that I've worked for before, if we want to get a caravan to Delphi.
Quick question. Isn't it the middle of the night at this point?
No.
Or are we still in the day?
No, you got up quite early in the day because you were woken up by
Cool.
the Theban guard to go and speak to Isidore about things. So basically,
Some of us were woken up.
yeah, you went for a liquid lunch basically with the Vikings. So it's like mid-afternoon at this point.
Cool. Just checking. Then yeah, let's do what Ron said.
Oh, I meant to ask, what
What was that? Sorry.
happened to the magical items?
Oh.
So
I'm going to start walking away really quickly.
Sorry.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
missed that. What?
I said I'm going to start walking away really quickly.
I think we need to teach the young one how to haggle.
Oh no, what did she do?
she
He sold one of the wands, probably lower than it was worth, the webbing wand. However, we did get the other one identified.
I'm trying very hard to disguise the tick in my eye. But, okay.
we will
We will
And what's the other one?
help her with trading in future.
but
But
I mean, there was two of you. Why did you let her wander off the? Who did you see?
A very racist little gnome. And obviously, I felt that a big scary
racist
minotaur
gnome?
might not necessarily facilitate good negotiations.
A racist? No.
I know. I know.
Oh, wait till she gets a load of me.
Oh, what's done is done.
the vial appeared to be a healing potion.
so
So
Oh, okay. I've not seen one in that colour before. That's quite interesting.
I'm not entirely sure I trust this gnome, so I may use that as a last resort.
You didn't get told that by a gnome. You got told that by a dwarf.
A dwarf. They all look the same to me.
Now who's racist?
Good points.
But to be fair, when you're his, everything looks small.
This is fair.
yeah,
Next time we need to sell items, let's make sure that we help each other out a little bit more and shop around. We'll just have to chalk this one up as a
A learning experience.
yes.
Well, at least you tried. That's fair. Well, I mean,
I think she did very well.
I mean, dare I ask how much she got for it?
No.
I believe it was somewhere in the realms of 5.
Can I hit Runt in the whatever's nearest to me?
You can.
Chin.
Yeah, it's probably the thigh, but yeah, what's your strength?
Not great. I'm not doing it to hurt. I'm just being annoying.
I was going to say, because if I don't think you have a modifier on strength, so it's probably 0 damage, even if you tried.
It wouldn't be for damage. It's just when someone's being annoying and you hit them.
Yeah, you feel like some like moth or insect kind of bump into your thigh.
I look around dazedly and then sort of look down and see Amaran just tussle her hair.
Yeah. I would make you roll to avoid, but you're a 13-year-old and he's a huge minotaur, so you get messy hair again.
Oh well, at least progress was made, and I can't ask for much more, I guess. But selling an item like that to a scam artist. Oh dear.
On the plus side, I did learn not to tell people that you steal things off of dead people because then they really lower the price.
Yes.
But if it's not stealing if It's not stealing if you killed him in self-defense.
Not in the eyes of the racist dwarf. No.
No.
Not in the-
In future, refer to it as salvage.
Good point.
Spoils of war, I think, would be another term. I think coined.
This is true. We should go find a caravan now because I'm feeling real small and real upset. So let's go.
Let's try and find a caravan.
Or can I try and like swipe some jerky off the table? The Longboat Tavern.
I mean,
People like some.
I was going to say, you don't have to
Sort of
swipe
food.
it. They give you packages of like dried fish and stuff and a flask of mead that's like in a stoppered horn, basically. They're hospitable.
Oh, I love these.
Firstly,
people. Have they got anything that we can
before
take for
go,
a
you say
dog?
thank you.
Yeah, what was that? Sorry, Runt?
Before we go, have they got anything that we can take for Birch? Dog treats.
I mean, they have dried meats, which dogs like that. So it's probably still, you could probably share.
I have been flicking food at him since we got here, so he's content.
Yeah, and
But it's going to be a long road to Delphi.
a note on that as well. Like,
I know it's a long road to Delphi. I've travelled it.
do you know, like,
Longer for you with your tiny little legs.
do you know, like when you're at a party and a dog suddenly appears, and everyone goes crazy because there's now a pupper? Yeah, that's kind of what happened when Bert arrived. Anyway, even with these big Viking dudes, he is very well tended to and fed and given attention because a dog just arrived while they were just drinking, and that is amazing. They gave blessings to like the Norse gods for it. I can't top of my head. Someone could probably tell me. Odin has his hounds. It's probably Odin. But yeah, so you have.
Is it Fenrir, the big dog?
Fenrir is the
Yeah, but no one thanks
Fenrir is
for
the
everything.
wolf at the end of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, no one thanks Fenrir for anything.
Thank
And
you.
Hattie are the other two.
Yeah, just hit him on the
Anyway.
nose with a
Caravan.
newspaper. Yeah, so you
We are Greek.
you have food, you have full bellies. We have a weird buzzing noise. There we are. What is your guys' next step?
Find caravan supplies, arrange transport to Delphi.
Okay. So where are you heading for that?
I wander off and see if I can find like anyone I've worked for previously as a caravan guard, like anyone that I recognise, any contacts that I might have that will be able to facilitate our travels.
Okay, make an investigation check for me.
That is a 15.
15. You can't find anyone that you've worked for previously because the only people you know that you've worked for in Thebes are the performers you came with, and they're probably off somewhere like in a tavern or like a symposium or something, performing or drinking right now. But you do ask around, and people kind of lead you. It's like if you're looking for a caravan anywhere, if you just yell in the outskirts of town at the gates, there'll be someone leaving because there's people coming in and out all the time for the festival. So they kind of lead you to the entrance to the town and say that's probably your best bet for finding a lift somewhere.
Cool. I report that to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Like, right, do we want to head over to the other side of town and try and catch one that's leaving, or would you like to rest for a night and then we can leave early in the morning? Or
May as well get a head start.
sounds good to me. Do we have enough in the way of supplies and rations?
But there's no reason. Well, depending on the caravan, should they give us rations in exchange for maybe guarding the caravan for them?
It depends on the caravan owner, but most do.
Well.
Also, depends how you feel about killing small animals, but there is a forest on the way. If we have to stop for the night, there is a big forest.
That's probably a few days away.
Yeah, let me get the map.
It's a stop-off point.
There we are.
I don't know about you,
Plus
but I
we
need
have
a lot of
food.
food.
There we are. If those of you that can see the screen, yeah, that is.
How actually, just as a quick question, how long would it take to get to either Ephesus, which is in front of it, or it take? And what's the shortest route?
Okay. Well,
Not that I'm metagaming. I just want to know.
No, you've taken the route to Delphi before, so you would know. So here's if you imagine kind of a grid like this, so quite a short grid. Each one's about 50 miles. So from Thebes to Delphi is about, as the crow flies, is about 800 miles. So yeah, the average the caravan would go about 20 miles a day. It's going to take quite some time to get all the way to Delphi, but it'd also take quite some time to get to Sparta. So
it's more likely that the more probably be across to Attica, and then where that converges with the other cities is probably giant crossroads that would then lead up towards Delphi. So
yeah,
it just depends on where the roads go.
Yeah, and as you know, like places like Attica and mainly like Lagina are big cities in themselves, but they're big stop-off points because if you imagine those of you that have any knowledge of ancient Greece, a lot of the city-states were very far apart. So there would be like small villages in between as well and stop-off points. So yeah, it's no small journey.
So it's most likely then that the first stopping point would be Attica before we head north.
Yeah, most likely. Or if you can find some villages along the way that you can resupply on.
Or it just depends on which way the caravan.
Yeah.
So 2 to 3 months travelling time, more likely 3 months with in between.
3.
It was 800 miles, dear. So yeah.
40 days.
A day is fairly reasonable.
Yeah, sorry.
Or if we're going to Attica, is that actually near rivers? Can we sail as far as Attica and maybe look at a caravan from there?
There, as you can see, there is the river here, named actually the River of Wine because the ancient Greeks used to think that the sea was made of wine. The sea looked like wine. And Thebes. So there is a river up there, but it wouldn't get you to Attica. It would get you closer to Ephesus Forest if you wanted to go there, but it wouldn't get you really much closer to Attica because it splits in between Thebes and Attica.
We've literally got to ford the river.
Yeah.
I'd say stick to the established trade routes, personally, rather than going cross-country.
Just ask the caravan people, they're going to know where they're going.
I find the most likely-looking caravan master.
Okay. That's another investigation check. I'll let you make it at advantage because other people will be helping you.
Cool. I'm going to need the advantage. That is a 14.
14, yeah. You can't find a caravan master. Like, it seems that everyone kind of comes in, they check in with the guards at the gate, tell them who they're staying with, where they're staying, much like you did. But there's no one controlling caravans. They seem to be independent visitors. But you do ask around, and there are a few people going that way. You do hear of just one that might be looking for hired help, but they're not looking for guards so much as people to look after the oxen and maintenance of the caravan so that they don't have to.
Well, they're basically my cousins, so I think I could probably manage looking after oxen.
Yeah, so you can go and find them if you want to.
Does that sound like a plan to everyone else?
Yeah.
The status quo is fine with me.
Right, well, we do that.
Okay. Yeah, you head over, and following directions that you've asked, you walk up and you find... It's easy to spot because it's a furbolg. It's a group of furbolgs, in fact. And they're all, as you imagine, very rustic. They just wear very simple woolen togas, nothing fancy, no embellishment on there. There seems to be one that's kind of shepherding people on. There's a family. There seems to be a couple of small furbolg children. And they seem to be packing up, ready to leave now. So you approach, like, oh, well, hi, how you doing?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm doing good. We've had a good time. We've met some good people. We've sold some stuff. We're all happy.
I'm glad to hear it. I hear you perhaps are looking to travel in the direction of Delphi.
Yeah. Well, not so much as Delphi. We're heading back to the Ephesus Forest, but yeah, we can get pretty close to Delphi. Why'd you ask, big fella?
Well, my friends and I are looking to head out that direction, and we're wondering if you perhaps would have need for some hired help, perhaps some guards, or...
Yeah, well, we don't need so much as guards. I mean, we know a lot of the safer routes. We've been traveling back and forth for years now, but we do need people to help look after the oxen and keep the cart in check. Like, we're simple merchant folk. We're not really big on the trade stuff, so if any of you are good with your hands or strong and fancy some work along the way, we could possibly help you.
I sort of flex my muscles and go like, I'm not averse to hard work.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we could do that. We don't have so much in terms of food for someone of your stature, I'm afraid. You may have to supply that yourselves if that's gonna be a problem at all.
I see no reason why not, as long as we can make adequate stops along the way. I mean, are we passing through settlements or anything where I could pick up supplies?
Oh yeah, we'll be heading through as many settlements as we can on the way to try and sell what's left of our herbs. So you'll have plenty of chance to resupply along the way.
That sounds good to me. How much are you willing to pay for our assistance on the journey?
Well, like I say, we're going as far as Ephesus Forest, so it's quite a way. If you met us the whole way there, we could probably pay you about, I don't know, maybe as much as 15 gold a person. We don't have a lot.
I'd look around at the rest of the group, go, right, 15 gold when we get to the destination. Does that seem reasonable to everyone?
Sounds good. We go and get some of our own supplies and things.
I mean, yeah.
Spending over what we're...
Money's money at the end of the day, depends on what we...
Yeah, I mean, as long as we're not
Along the way,
spending
we
more
can
than,
supplement ourselves.
yeah, as long as we're not spending more than £15 gold on supplies, then we'll break even.
Okay.
It's cheaper than paying for transport, isn't it?
Okay. What do I call y'all?
Well, I'm Runt. With me, we have Alma, this Sprog.
Oh,
We have Mercy, who is
I barely saw you there, little girl. It's nice to meet you, and may I say that is a fine specimen of a beast you got there.
He is the best dog, and he's very well behaved. I promise.
Well, that is good to know. We have children ourselves that you may get along with. Yeah, they like dogs. If you know. I'm sorry. And what about your other two compatriots? What do we call those?
With me, this striking woman with the heavy armor and the mace. That is Mercy.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Mercy, ma'am.
Charmed.
And what about you, fella? You seem to be ready for a fight. I hope you're not looking for trouble.
My
name is Gabriel.
I'm a
Paladin.
Oh, a holy man. I do apologize. I did not realize. I myself, I am Cyril. It's Cyril Pantalemon. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am part of the Pantalemon Trading Company. We've been merchants from here up until Pylos since my granddaddy started the business so many moons ago. It's a pleasure to have you all. I don't know if you had any plans, but we're looking to leave before dusk. We want to be at the first stopping point before it gets too dark. If that works for you.
Well, the sooner we're on the road, the better, I think. Does anyone have anything they need to take care of before we leave? Or?
No, I dealt with my issue. Let's just make sure we have some provisions at least for a couple of days.
DM, how long is it until dusk?
Again, it's mid-afternoon, and it's towards the end of autumn, so the days are still at the end of summer. Sorry, so the days are still long. So you've probably got another 5-6 hours before dusk. You've got a while.
Right, well, I turn to Cyril and say, well, we need to gather some supplies for the team. If we meet you here in, say, 3 hours, would that be sufficient?
That would be absolutely fine by us. We were pretty much ready to go. So as soon as you guys get here, we can head off. We'll try and make some room for you before you get back.
If need be, I can always jog alongside.
No, that's very kind of you. But yeah, if you meet back here as soon as you can, if you're not back here by the appointed time, we'll assume that you found better arrangements and we'll have to leave, I'm afraid.
That's understandable. Someone who is as used to coming and going from Thebes as yourself would probably know where's best to find supplies at a reasonable rate. Would you be able to point us in that direction?
Yeah, actually, you're pretty close. Again, these Thebans are quite smart. If you need supplies for leaving town, they tend to hang around these parts. There are a few marketplaces, or stoa, as I believe you call them, just a few blocks that away, and he points the way. And again, you can see kind of little bits of smoke coming from the area from maybe like small, like braziers or campfires and stuff. Yeah, the prices seem a little bit higher at the moment, what with the festival and all, but they'll set you right with provisions enough to get to the next town at least.
Thank you. Well, anyone else, we'll see you back here in a few hours.
Right, well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Runt, and I look forward to traveling with y'all.
And you, Mr. And you.
Considering that it's like my town that we're heading towards, and I don't really want to get left behind, even though I've got hours' time, I'm going to turn to Mercy, and I'm going to say, if you wouldn't mind getting provisions for me, I'm going to stay here and get acquainted with this lot, because... So, I'm going to... I don't know...
I'm pretty sure we'll be acquiring for...
I don't know, I can pay for my own, because at this point I've acquired a random amount of gold that I didn't realise I had.
Considering I gave my back to Gavriel, so we can take whatever we need out of that, I guess.
If you insist, but I will pay you back when you come back.
Money is not my concern, dear.
Alright, if you insist.
Okay, so you guys, apart from Alma, you stay with the cart, and Cyril introduces you to these two children, a boy and a girl. They're a lot younger than you. They're about like 6 and 7, but Cyril doesn't seem to understand that. He thinks you. He introduces you, and like they fawn over the dog, and they ask you to play games and things, while the rest of you go look for supplies. It doesn't take you long to find the store. Again, you just follow that type of noise. You can hear people like haggling, shouting, like advertising, like exotic fruit. There are a few places selling rations as well. There's places selling like glass jewelry, like some exotic animals. You see like some animals there that you might not recognize from different lands. You see a few more dragonborn, you see a few more tiefling, seem to be advertising things like tapestries and foreign things.
Guess look for some rations that are going to survive a couple of long
weeks. See what we can get.
Okay. For brevity's sake, because I've thrown a lot of NPCs at you today, we'll say you can easily find rations. It's basically, for decent rations, it's a silver a day per person, basically.
How many silvers and a gold?
10.
10.
So yeah,
I was trying to do math.
they are. Yeah, you can feel it.
I don't have to do math. I'm not there.
Just for brevity's sake, I could get like 15 days worth of rations.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be for each of you, because again, it's pricey, but it's a tourist time, so everyone's kind of ramped up their prices because they can.
It'll possibly get cheaper once we get into some of the outskirts settlements.
Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna make me do math now. So yeah, so 1 gold and 5 silver, you can get 15 days rations.
Yeah,
Seems like a reasonable amount.
Yep, and then if one of you's buying the same for Alma as well, if you want to mark that off. I will let you guys decide.
I'll pick Alma's.
Okay. So yeah, you pick those up. It doesn't take you long. Is there anything else that you guys want to do before you meet back with Cyril and Alma?
I want to see if there's anyone that will put this spider fang that I have on like a necklace or something.
Okay. Like I say, there are a few jewelers there. You meet a small tiefling man. Probably sometimes hard to tell with tieflings, but he seems to be in his like late 50s, early 60s. He's even, everyone's small to you, but again, he's quite small. But yeah, he offers to make it. He says he can't do anything special with it, but he offers to attach it to one of his already created kind of ornate glass pieces.
Yeah. How much for?
Yeah, he offers to do it for 2 gold for you.
See if he'll do it for 1 gold and 5 silver.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
That is have I got anything on persuasion? No, that's fine. That's 15 then.
15, just. So yeah, he kind of look at him and fine, but if anyone asks you got it from me, okay? That's fine. As a good guy.
No, I think that's fair. I will praise your workmanship.
Yeah. And he goes in back, and it doesn't take him long. He literally seems to just kind of pop out the main, like, glass, not diamond as in diamond, but that kind of kite shape of coloured glass. He kind of pops that out from the cord and then just loosely ties the fang in its place and then gives it to you for a gold and 5 silver. And, that's you on your way. So yeah, if you want to add 1 costume jewelry necklace with spider fang to your inventory or something of that ilk.
I'll just hang it from a horn.
Is there anything else people would like to do before you head back to the cart?
No, I'm good.
I'll try and get a messenger.
Okay.
I assume an intercity messenger is a fairly common service.
Yeah, it's easy enough. It seems to be mainly halflings. It's like at certain posts, people like at the end of each main commercial block, there'll be people there like exchanging messages and putting them into pouches and getting ready to go. A little bit closer to the entrance again.
Get a message to go to Sparta.
Okay.
Obviously. And I ask for some kind of update as to what's happening, explain that I'm coming to Sparta via Delta.
Okay, and who are you sending this message to?
I'm sending this to...
Priest.
Yeah.
Basilius.
Okay. Well, I'll try and find him for you. As in Sparta, I can do that for 8 silver.
Sure. How about I give you a gold and you make sure you put it? It's very important.
I will guard it with my life. Yeah, and they pocket that and they take the message. We will talk about, just asking goings on. We'll talk about the specifics of the message if you want to off screen, just for brevity's sake. So you do that. You guys head back to the cart. As you can see, by the time you get back, Birch he's happy enough, but he seems to be a little tired now. He seems to have like 2 6 or 7 year olds like being maybe a little bit too rough with him, giving him attention, and he looks a bit ready to go. It was like, that didn't take you long at all. You got everything you need?
I believe so.
Right, well, like I say, we're ready to head off as soon as you all are, so if most of you hopping back, one of you may need to take a turn walking alongside. We don't have a lot of room.
I offer to take the first turn walking.
Okay.
You were guarding everybody last night.
I was guarding myself. I still don't trust you guys.
Why don't you take a rest and I'll do the rest of it.
Oh, well, if you insist.
Rest.
All right, I climb in back and take a long rest.
Okay. And you guys head off. and it's a decent pace. You know, oxen aren't known for their speed, but they've got the stamina, so you're at a constant pace. And as you leave, the smells and the sights and the sounds of Thebes finally die down until the beautiful port city is out of sight, and you are left with relatively open, just dry but still lovely grassland as you head on your way. Okay. This next part, before the next settlement, unless anybody's got anything they desperately want to talk to the rest of the party about, I'm going to do it almost like a montage. So first things first, the first long rest. Runt, you get to level up. So level 2, I don't know if you choose anything as a barbarian off the top of my head.
No, I just gain advantage on dex saves versus things that I can see.
Danger sense, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Oh no, I also gain advantage on strength-based melee attacks by granting advantage to attacks against me.
Reckless
attack, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and would you like to roll your D12?
I can indeed.
Because barbarians, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a 12.
I'm fair.
Wasted.
It's a 12.
Hey! Yep, you are making up for all of the bad rolls from the last 2 episodes.
I know. I feel blessed today.
Yeah, well,
it's right because I
didn't even cast it.
That'll be shit.
Yeah, I mean that's why one, I'm taking it on faith because I trust you, but also I believe you're getting these good rolls because you guys are due. You really are. Okay, so so you add 12 plus your Constitution modifier to your hit point collection.
Ooh, takes me up to 28.
That is not bad for a level 2 anything. So yeah. That's max basically, isn't it? Plus your depending on what your con modifier is, but yeah.
That's 2, yeah.
So first night, there's not much in terms of like safe. You don't reach the town or anything by the first night, but you reach an outcropping that they seem to know of. It's kind of out of the way, and it's more of less of an outcropping because there's not much nature. It's quite dry, but it is like a rocky outcropping where they kind of sit, and it's sheltered from the elements, and you reach where you need to for the night. So yeah, first night. Is there anything that you guys want to do? Do you want to set up?
Can you just point to where on the map? I mean, obviously we haven't gone very far.
Yeah, you've not gone far at all.
We've just moved. Okay, fair enough. Never mind.
You're like maybe in the middle of the B, maybe a little bit, maybe at the bottom of the B of Thebes.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not far at all.
In assessment, or are we camping? Sorry.
What's that? No, you're camping first night. Yeah, they just wanted to reach. They've got waypoints along the way, and Cyril tells you it's like, yeah, like I say, my grandpappy, he's been heading to and from these parts for generations. So we know a few places that are more hidden than others from bandits and wild beasts and things. I mean, you still have to keep a watch. Even sleep. One of you be safe, but it's a little safer than if you're out on your own.
Well, Cyril, as I had quite a long rest on the way here, I feel it's only fair that I offered to take first watch.
Well, it's much obliged. We'll get the young'uns to sleep and get some shut eye, and then we're happy to take a watch with you if we want to organize as a group. All we ask is
it's okay. I'll join him. It's fine.
All right. Well, all we ask is that you take care of the oxen before y'all go to sleep, and you make sure that,
on it.
Okay, you make sure that they're fed, they're watered, and that there's any damage to the cart you see to promptly, so we can be on our way.
The oxen are safe in my hands.
Okay, in that case, Alma, would you like to make me So you're taking first watch, and Mercy's also going to take a watch. We won't do this every night, but Mercy and Runt, would one of you like to make a perception check? Actually, it's 2 different watches, so if you both make me a perception check. Alma, if you'd like to make me an animal handling check.
Help Alma.
Okay, do you have animal handling as a skill?
I do, as trained skill.
Brilliant. So yeah, if you want to make that with advantage then, Alma.
Yeah. Well, I'm proficient in animal handling, I think.
Okay. It's 5 on the perception roll.
With advantage.
With advantage, yeah. So roll 2 and pick the highest.
Come here. I got the same each time. No, that's a lie. I got more the first time.
What was that, sorry?
19.
19, yeah. They're very well looked after. You, on top of making sure they're fed and watered and everything, you kind of comfort them as well, make sure they're happy, and they seem enlivened. Basically, it's a weird concept, but whilst you're using Beasts of Burden, I'm going to have you make animal handling checks, and it'll affect how quickly you can go each day, depending on how tired the oxen are along the journey. Because you got to think about the animals, yo.
That's why I'm here.
So yeah, Runt, did you say you rolled a 5 on yours?
I did.
Okay. Okay.
I got a 17.
Okay.
Oh God.
Okay, you're lucky. Yeah, Runt, you seem distracted. You're busy. Like, you feel stronger after that. You might have to up to another set of weights once you start lifting again. Add a few more on there. You see. So you're busy kind of testing things out. You're swinging the spatha around, trying out a new technique. You found it through training through the night and practicing swings. You think you found a way where you can expose an enemy's weakness a lot easier, with the disadvantage that it also leaves you quite open to counterattack. And so kind of like an all or nothing kind of swing at their weak point that will then leave your flank open at times. And you kind of perfect your reckless attack over the night. But in doing such, you kind of forget what you meant to do. But luckily, you don't notice anything good or bad through the night. Mercy, what did you get? Sorry?
17.
17. On a 17, there's nothing seemed to happen. Like, nothing seems to approach you through the night. You do see, because you're still quite close to Thebes, you do notice a few more caravans with, like, maybe 1 or 2 lanterns lit along to lead their way. You do see more people leaving. But, again, you were quite hidden. There's not much that you see along the way that approaches you. You hear, like, drunken laughter. You recognize a lot of, like, Theban and, like, Elysian accents. Maybe a few, like, the Borat Russian twang of the tieflings that you met in there. But again, no one seems to notice where you are, but you do notice, it's still quite a busy route that you're on. Okay, so yeah, the new day comes. Next day, is there anything anybody would like to talk to anybody, do anything?
I'd like to catch up with Burbolg and find out a little bit about them.
Okay.
Be with them for a while, so it's worth kind of gauging that they appear to be honest, trustworthy, hardworking people.
That is fair.
For face value, but check that pans out.
Yeah, that is fair. Oh, what's happened there?
So, just real quick question.
Yeah.
From a really dumb point of view. So has it changed day? So have we...
So if you're what, sorry?
So obviously I haven't spent any of my spell slots, but it's one of those things where have we all had a long rest?
Yeah, everybody will have. Even when you take shifts, you need about 8 hours sleep in total to get a long rest. So as long as you guys take shifts, you'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, you've all had a long rest.
Cool.
Even Runt, who seems to be allergic to them sometimes. Yeah. So you speak to him. We'll make it quick. But what would you like to talk to Cyril about? He does have. He has a wife and the 2 children, but Cyril seems to do most of the talking while she seems to lead the car. He tends to have his eye out. Occasionally they'll stop and inspect where they're going. They'll might find something like interesting herbs or interesting things, and they'll pocket it and kind of add it to a couple of barrels that they have towards the front of the car. But so yeah.
Oh, that as well. I'm stopping and looking at herbs and stuff.
Yeah, no worries. So go for it, Gabriel.
Just want to ask them kind of a bit about their family, their history, what they do, and how life is when they're not on the road.
Well, that's kind of hard to tell. We spend most of our time on the road. We're traders by nature. We hail from Pylos. I don't know. Just know of Pylos. It's Hermes' domain, and our families have embraced that since as long as I can remember. Yeah, we go from town to town and we pick up things along the way and we try and, make a living just selling and buying what we can. We generally take from the earth, but occasionally we'll come across a town that has some nice, has a little bit of culture that we can exchange for and then impart that culture into other cities.
I'd like you definitely living a good life.
We can't complain. We have never gone wanting. Hermes has never seen fit to test us too much as we live honestly, and we've seen the world. We've not quite as much as our Lord Hermes himself has, but no mortal ever will. But we've seen our fair share, and it's a good living. It's a good way to raise children to see and accept the world as it is.
You had your children on the road, or?
Yeah, in this very car, in fact. Yeah, we gave birth to both little ones right here under the sky. Like I say, we don't have a home to call our own, so Adara and I, we do most things on the road. That's why we wanted someone to look after this cart. So
spend some time with your children.
Yeah, we've done most of that maintenance ourselves, and while we can do it, and we want to, this cart means a lot to us, but we want to make sure that we're living life. So whilst we're doing in a good spot, we like to bring other people on, not only to help us, but, hopefully we can help them see the wider picture in the world.
I'm looking forward to it. Nice to see something different in the world.
Yeah, as am I, holy man, as am I. There's a lot out there. It's a bigger world than we all think.
Hopefully learn something from you and something about how Hermes enriches your life and you find something.
In many ways, holy man. And where do you hail from? I know Poseidon, but we don't spend much time on water. We're kind of landlocked folks. So, what does Poseidon value?
Poseidon values in me. My martial ability. I served in his military. Cavalryman.
Right, well, it's good to know we have an honest fighter among us. I'm not going to lie, it helps us sleep at night knowing you're there. Poseidon, I'm sure Poseidon's looking on at you and is happy that you're doing his work.
I hope so, and I hope I can bring his word to people that benefit from it and go out and learn a bit more about the other gods, see something outside of the coast, trod into land a little.
Of course, we visited maybe all cities on this land at least, and one thing I've learned is the gods may be among us, they may be living as mortals, but they're not mortal. And for the most part, if you treat them kind, they will treat you kind back. We have a lot to thank for from Hermes. We have a lot to thank for from all the gods. And whilst they can be capricious and they can be prideful, they represent the best and the worst in us mortals, and it does well to remember that.
I'm gonna try and see if he's open to the concept of us kind of performing a prayer or service to Hermes for a safe journey for all of us throughout this, and then try and by leading him to kind of reinvigorate his faith a bit more, get a bit more.
Well, we pray to Hermes daily for safe travels, but we will be honored to have a holy man lead us in that prayer. So, by all means, if you want to make a religion check for me.
I do.
Make it at advantage since you've got Cyril there with you, kind of as a conduit to his god.
Okay. Ooh. 19.
Okay. You make a prayer. You speak a few words, more kind of on Cyril's behalf, but again, you're a holy man. You know how these things go. You know to ask your god for help. So the words might not be the way that more stern, and they're more in the sense of like how you would pray to Poseidon, but you still feel that at least someone will have heard you. And yeah, you pray for safe travel, and you pray to, watch over Cyril and his family, and to look after them as devotees of him. And you feel that it goes somewhere. Okay. And he nods and he thanks you, and and then you continue on with your day, and he has to go and run off because one of the kids is causing trouble, and they won't leave Birch alone. And Cyril has finally noticed that.
Probably my fault.
Okay. Anybody else? Would you like to do anything before the day's end? I'm only going to do this check once more, just so it doesn't get samey. So if there's anything you wanted to do between now and wherever you might end up, if you want to.
Between now and wherever we end up.
Yeah, just, between now and the next plot point, I guess. I'm only going to make you make these checks once more, because otherwise it might get a bit samey. So if there's anything you want to do whilst on the road, for now.
Okay. The only thing I'm going to do is when they stop to pick up, herbs and stuff, I'm going to do the same, kind of specifically looking for ones that are kind of more to do with, healing and stuff like that. But I'm assuming the closer we get to water, the greener the land's going to get.
Yeah, pretty much. The closer you get to the river, the more lush and the more open the land seems to be. So, yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna, at some point when we've stopped for the night, I'm gonna go and plant that sapling that I took.
Okay.
And basically just essentially go, because I've taken stuff from the land, I'm gonna give back. And that's why I'm planting the tree.
Okay. Whilst you're looking for herbs, would you like to make a nature check for me to see if you collect anything of value?
Will. And find a bit of paper. There we go. Ooh, are you a 19 or are you a 16? You are a 19 plus, what was it?
Nature check.
Nature.
Okay. Yeah, you find a few herbs. That you find one herb that's used, kind of like smelling salts. It's it's not eucalyptus, but it's quite similar, where you could break the roots of it and break the stalk of it, and it releases a really strong smell that basically you have one of these, and it will give you, whilst you can't turn it into anything, because I don't think you're proficient with herbology or anything. Herbology.
Yeah, if I had a herbalism kit, then I can.
Okay. But since you don't, you can just use that herb once you won't be able to make anything from it, but if you make a medicine check to try and stabilize someone, you can make that check with advantage using that herb, just because you got such a high roll. But unless you find a herbalism kit and are trained in using them, you won't actually be able to make anything with herbs until that point.
Cool. You may need to message me that, because I didn't get all of it, but yeah.
We'll talk about that after. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay.
One last night. Who is taking watches tonight? Cyril offers to take one.
I'll go again.
Okay.
I'll keep Mercy company.
Okay, so you take the same watch. You basically need 3 watches for everyone to get a long rest, so Alma or Gavril, it's up to you.
I'll take the other then.
Okay.
If Mercy wants to take hers alright, I can take the third.
It's up to you guys.
That's very sweet, but I can look after myself, dear.
I'll take the third then.
Okay.
Av can get some sleep.
Okay, so same again, if you two want to make me perception checks.
That is a 18.
Okay.
Same.
Both 18s, right. Let's just roll my handy dandy. Fuck with the party dice. I mean, percentile dice. Sorry. Slip of the tongue there.
God.
Okay. Mercy, this time, first watch, you don't notice everything. Things seem to be getting quieter the further away from Thebes you're getting. Ron, you're taking a watch, and you actually remember to take a watch this time, rather than just practice. You still practice as you do every day. You do the same moves, you do the same techniques to make sure you're still in shape, but you actually remember to spend most of the time keeping everybody safe. And you don't see anything because you don't have dark vision, so you can't see too far past what's left of the embers because you tend to put the fire out to a low point once you can. But you do hear sounds in the night that sound like metallic kind of shuffling. Like you can hear like slight footsteps, and you can kind of like metallic shuffling. It's in the distance, but it kind of echoes because it's quite an open landscape. It kind of, you can hear like occasional, you can hear like a cling, cling.
Is it a sound that I'd perhaps recognise, or?
I'm trying to make me a history check.
That's a 14.
14. You don't. It might be chains of some sort, like whether it's part of the machine, part of like a bigger caravan, or whether it's like binding chains, or whether it's like some sort of forge equipment. Maybe a caravan's going by that have like weapons in them that are shuffling, or like blacksmith.
Okay, so it could be anything metallic, basically.
14. Yeah, it could be anything metallic going by in the distance.
Cool.
Okay.
I let people know about it when they wake up, but
it could be anything. Yeah. Okay. Last day. About you have breakfast and you move on for a little bit more, and at about noon, you start to reach the actual signs of a settlement. You're getting a lot closer to the river now, so the land seems to be starting a lot greener. And you notice, as you come in, the first thing you notice is like old tilled land, as you come into what seems to be like a big farmland. You start to walk in, and you can see in the distance, you can see people like working the land. There seems to be a mixture of like olive trees and like wheat and grain. The main thing that catches your eye, though, is they have livestock. Like goats and sheep and things like that, but they seem like bigger than normal livestock. Like as you go in, you're seeing these things. They don't look anything like a giant goat or like dire goat or anything like that, but they just seem a lot bigger. And it kind of, you guys know, it seems to be really prosperous farmland, and there's people working the fields, and there's a few like wooden housing as you walk in. But yeah, you seem to have actually reached the first town. Yeah. So you make your way in. So Cyril stops the cart like on the entrance, like, if y'all don't mind, we got a few business errands to run while we're here. We don't tend to go into Typhlos itself, but we've got some friends nearby that we kind of meet up after the festival and talk to. So I don't know if you guys wanted to spend a day or two here, and we'll meet you once we're finished and resupply. I know your rations might start to be getting a little lower.
Sounds good.
Cyril, if there's anything I can do to assist him, business.
Not right now. I'm happy to have you all along, but no offense. The people we usually meet with are more skittery than most, and they might be a little nervous around the taller folk such as yourself.
So can I insight check him and see if he's like up to anything shady, or?
Yeah, go for it. Make an insight check.
That is a... Sorry, so that's a 14.
14. He doesn't seem to be, like, doing anything malicious or, like, trying to get rid of you to, like... He's not trapping you or anything like that, it doesn't seem like, but he kind of... he's speaking to you about being bigger, but he's kind of eyeing Gavriel and looking at like his holy man crest. So maybe the trade he's talking about isn't completely legal, and he might So you get the idea that he doesn't know if you guys would approve or not.
Well, yeah, I don't care. He can do something illegal. It's not, as long as it's not hurting anyone. It doesn't seem malicious. So I'm more than happy to hang around here.
All right. Well, if we meet you in 2 days, we'll head back on our way once we've finished. Soak in the culture. Meet some new people. Say hello. Trade a story or two. Don't. Oh, yes, little one.
Sorry, that to my party in general. Who has that you picked up in the town previous?
That what? Sorry.
What?
Do I still have it, or does Gabriel have it?
Have what? Sorry.
The stick that we picked up. I'm not going to call it a wand in front of the people.
I believe you had it.
You had it. The one that
Did Gabriel
you
give it back
didn't
to
sell.
me? Yeah, the one I didn't sell. Did Gabriel give it back to me because I gave it to him?
You've got it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Got it.
It's mine.
My understanding.
Just checking.
Okay.
Did you leave it in Thebes?
No. It just got buried in my bag. Never mind.
Can we just check on the oxen just before they go, just to make sure that...
Yeah, absolutely. Feel
they're not
free to
going off the bill.
make an animal handling check before you leave.
14?
14? Yeah, they seem fine.
Okay. I was going to say, does he want to do it with advantage? Because I've...
Yeah, feel free. If you're both doing
handling
it,
as
feel
well.
free to make that with advantage.
19.
Yeah, you've been looking after them really well along the way, to be honest. You're making sure they're happy. You check their reins, as it were, make sure that they aren't cutting into them. You've got some old rags and stuff and put them to kind of make more padding for the reins and stuff to make sure that they're not straining themselves too much. And yeah, Cyril's, every time you do it, Cyril kind of gives you like a fatherly smile almost. He's happy because the oxen seem very, they seem just as healthy as when they left Thebes. So yeah, you're taking good care of them.
Yay.
Okay.
Teamwork.
So they wave goodbye. One of the children cries when they have to leave Birch, but they leave and they kind of they wave at the back of the cart as they roll away. And you guys are left.
I'm going to lean down to Bert, give him a treat, and be like, "You are just. I am so sorry."
He
give him all the love.
Yeah, he doesn't wag he doesn't nuzzle you or anything, but his tail still wags when you scratch his ear and give him love. He can't help it.
Yes, I know you're annoyed at me, but it's okay.
Okay. So yeah, you are left in the town of Typhlos.
Okay. So there's somewhere that we can
Get rooms.
get rooms.
We're going
We'll be here for a couple of days.
Right. As a note, in ancient Greek kind of culture, there's not really inns or anything. Generally, you would either be invited to a place, or you would gain the hospitality of someone. So basically, sorry, Mercy, you're going to have to make friends.
Oh, joy.
In that case, let's go drink.
Hey.
Best way to make friends.
Don't talk.
Okay, so yeah.
Ever.
So you make your way in, you look around, and there doesn't seem to be anywhere too there's no taverna, there's no cafe, there's no symposiums happening. It's a farming town. So you there is a very rough town square that kind of surrounds a well that's probably fed from the river, because the river's still quite a few miles away, but it's probably fed from kind of that, and it's kind of the center of the town. There is a small well, and there are a few people gathered and just kind of almost like water cooler talk in between work. They come in to top up on water and speak and things.
On entering the town, I just want to do a quick divine sense and check that this isn't a town full of horrific, horrible demon people who have faces.
It's almost like you've been hurt before. Yeah. So yeah, you activate your divine sense. Nothing. Everything. It seems. Everything seems on the level. It's not. It's nothing you have to roll for, is it? It's just kind of something you know. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, if you head towards the center of the town, there is a human man, kind of a scruffy beard, probably in his late 30s. You don't know. He might be younger and spend a lot of the time in the sun, but he seems like late 30s, and he's talking to another either human or very faint half-elfin man. The half-elfin or man seems to have a stern look in his face, but they're kind of just in mid-conversation as you approach.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you're fairly happy if we all take residence together.
I'm not unhappy about it.
Hello there, gentlemen.
No. Hello.
Sorry to disturb you. We're travelling through the caravan at the moment, and wondering if there's anywhere in the town where might be some beds. Make ourselves of you.
I'm not sure. Like, we don't normally get visitors. Are you visiting anyone? Or are you just passing through, or
we're just passing through with the caravan, but have some.
Okay, the half-elf man kind of just looks at the other fellow and he's like, Arrow, they're guests. See to them that they're looked after. I have to go and sort everything else. And he kind of nods to you and leaves. And he's like, you're left with a scruffy human man. It's like, he kind of looks around. It's like, yeah, I can. How 4 of you?
There are 4 of us, but we're very able to help with agricultural issues and any heavy lifting.
Okay, we could always use the help. Lana, my wife, she's expecting, so we need all the help we can get. Why don't you come back with me and we'll see if we can put you to work, and I'll be happy to put you up for a day or two. I'm sure your daughter probably needs a rest after however long.
One of our number is a priest. Preparation.
Oh, well, she's it's going to be a while before the baby comes, but I very much appreciate it. Let's get you inside. We can talk while we're inside. Why don't we make our way in, and we can talk more then. He like kind of hurried you off into one of the outskirts. It's one of the plots of land. There seems to be mainly wheat that's growing out back. It seems to mainly have been harvested, but there seems to be like a patch at the back of it that still needs to be harvested before the end of summer. But yeah, he leads you. It's it's pokey, but there is like a wooden building, like little house and little hole that he leads you to, and he kind of opens the door and is like, come on, come in, quick, please.
Everyone in.
Feels closer to home than the fancy room did.
I inside check him. He seems a little bit.
Quickly,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I do something similar? Is he just naturally jumpy? Or...
Yeah. All of you make an insight check that are worried. Feel free.
That is a 19.
Okay.
Can't tell what that is. Oh, okay.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
9.
Okay. Mercy, are you blasé?
No.
Okay. Runt, you kind of notice that he keeps looking at Alma and kind of looking around and then kind of carrying on. He does seem jumpy. But yeah, his attention keeps slipping to Alma, and then kind of slipping back again as if he doesn't want people to know that. Okay. He leads you inside, and you see that another human woman is kind of sat in a chair by a very small. Again, it's not a fireplace per se. It's more like a tripod, brazier kind of thing, there's a cooking pot over it. And she's kind of just sat. And she's like, "Oh, hello." It's like, yeah, we have some visitors to the town that have offered to help us on the farm in exchange for residence for a couple of days. They have a little one with them, and they have a holy man. They have a priest that's offered to help. And a couple of them seem quite strong, so I thought we could put them up for a couple of days. She stands and she nods to all of them. She's quite plain as humans go. She's not like from Nidas or anything like that. She's not particularly beautiful, but she kind of has like a homely kind of glow to her almost. Certain girls, no makeup, freckles, they still look really amazing even though they haven't glammed themselves up. She's kind of just in very simple, again, thin woolen toga. Very, again, not elegantly done up or anything, but kind of practically done up, but it suits her. It's the equivalent of if you found the old farmland in like the checkered skirt and things, it's the Greek version of like farmhand next door. Yeah. And she smiles at you all. And she's like, we're happy to help anybody. Can I just ask where you all came from?
Most recently, Thebes.
And
yeah, I was going to say, most recently Thebes, if you're actually asking, all over the place.
Oh, and can I ask why you've come across here and why you've seen quite an eclectic group?
We're currently just making our way to Delphi.
Delphi.
We have business there.
Oh, you're expected. You have friends at Delphi? Or?
Yes, we're making some stops along the way where we're expected, but we're just overall going to be up in Delphi.
Okay.
We have some important issues.
Okay. And may I ask, when are you expected?
Delphi? Well,
what's the quickest we can be there?
We're scheduled to meet with people in a couple of days.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then I'm happy for you to help, but you should meet them as soon as you can.
Are you okay? Is there anything happening at the moment that we should be aware of?
She kind of looks to her husband, and he kind of gives her a look back. He's like, "No, we can't. We can't have this happen again. Look, your daughter, the child, she's in danger. You can't stay here."
In danger from the people who live here, or an external force?
The people that run this place. The people that.
The man you were talking to earlier, then.
No, he's part of it. But yet, have you not noticed? There's no children in this town. We don't have children in this town. You can't stay here for that.
Right, well, maybe we can help. Why don't you sit down and tell us everything that's been happening? Starts at the beginning.
Yeah, I'd like to know why I'm in trouble, please.
You're not in trouble, dear. You're in danger.
Is this the work of mortals, or is this some kind of creature?
We don't know. We know. Okay, since we've been living here, any child that comes in, they go missing, and they don't come back. We ourselves, we lost a son. We came in. We stayed here, and we had to stay here ever since. They keep the children. You can't stay here. You can't. If they come for her, then you'll never see her again, and you'll have to stay here, and you can't. You have to.
We
And
kind of
when-
don't have a choice. Isn't here.
You can't help. He's already seen you. He knows. You have to get out of here as soon as possible.
And what about you and your child? You're expecting again.
Yeah, well, if we can't leave, we can't leave our son. He's
Your son's been taken, has he?
yes, they were all taken. They take them hostage and they make us work. They can't. They keep the children. We don't know what they do with them, but they keep the children.
Have you ever seen these kidnappers?
We haven't seen them. There's a curfew. We have to stay in when they come and take what they want. But we've heard a name, and that's about it.
What's the name?
It's again, we don't know if it's true. We've heard stories, but at night we hear noises and we hear voices, and they come, they take livestock, they take what they want, and they say they do it for Polyphemus.
Do I know that name or?
Before you do, you hear a knock on the door, like 3 hard raps on the door. We'll end it there.
Oh.
Okay. So we'll start with that check once we start up again. That a lot happened that episode. You guys ticked a lot of things. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying it so far. If you're keeping track of this, well done, because I might need a day or two. Tech is finally there as well, so hopefully episodes will only keep getting better from now on. So thanks for joining us. Does anybody want to say anything before I plug the charity one more time and we sign off? No? Okay.
Donate to Calm.
Donate to Calm, yes. Find the link on our Facebook, share the link, tell your friends, tell your grandmother, she might want it,
Do a thing, win a thing, feel good.
Yeah, do a thing, win a thing, feel good about it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will be back in just under 2 weeks with Match of the Deity, and then again on the 4th of April to announce our winner and to have episode 4, where we'll see what happens in Typhus. Until then, guys, thanks for watching, and remember that we love you. Even you.
Bye-bye.